and welcome to week 12 of the Obsidian project here on DominateEye Live. I'm here with Adam, and just Adam. And so we are going to be entertaining ourselves this week. We think we're going to be trying to address the storage situation. So this one's probably going to rely pretty heavily on the discussion. But yeah, hopefully it should still be fun. Hello, Adam.
Hello.
I guess with that, we can start doing things.
What is the current issue with the storage situation? Just to fill in the viewers.
Sure. So last I knew, it was basically that 90% of it was either empty and we had stuff that we should put in there, or most of it, like most of the item frames were empty, so we didn't actually know where things go at a first glance. So that's what I'm hoping that we can sort of address, just to make building easier in the future.
Cool. Yeah, I guess we could just start by, or I guess I can start by
just looking in chests and seeing.
Looking in chests and putting things in item frames.
Yeah.
So
let me see. I'll check down here. So there's no chest in this space. What's in here? Nothing in here. Nothing in here. Nothing in here.
So, how's your computer?
Oh, it's very good. I'm very happy with it. Yeah.
Have you installed all of the, Skyrim and all the Skyrim mods in order to?
No, I have not. I'm going to be doing that with Fallout 4. There's a diamond axe in this chest. What the hell?
Oh yeah, I think Alice made some diamond tools not knowing about the challenge.
Okay.
And then when she was informed about the challenge, she was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just put the diamond stuff away and not use it.
Okay. Well, so, I've taken it out, and I'm going to go put it with the rest of the tools whenever I figure out where those are. Cool. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing that with Fallout 4 and Sim Settlements 2, which I'm a voice actor in. So
Sim Settlements 2?
Yeah, it's one of the big mods for the game, that because Fallout 4 has a settlement building system, and it takes that system, adds a whole lot of depth to it, adds a story to it, and a parallel story running alongside the game's original story. And
there's a settlement that needs our help.
Yeah, some people get annoyed by Preston. I like Preston. I don't think he's bad.
You can actually tell Preston that you're not interested.
Yeah, I think you can do that. Yeah. And I mean,
he's like, hey, do you have time to help other settlements? And you can be like, nah, fuck that. And you can be like, all right, well, let me know when you want to do that again. And then he just doesn't talk to you,
and then he just
unless
doesn't
you tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just people don't want to, people find it more, I guess, convenient to just hate this character who hasn't really done anything wrong.
Yeah.
He just wants to help people. I'm putting the axe, the diamond axe, next to the bow and the sword and the shield in the sort of weapons area.
Okay. There probably was an axe box at one point.
Yeah.
The axes probably all got taken out of it pretty quickly.
Yeah. If I find an axe box, I might an axe box. If I find an axe box, I might just move that one into wherever the other axe box is. Anyway, yeah. So I voice a couple characters in that mod, side characters. So I don't have a huge impact on the story or anything, but I think it'll be pretty cool to hear myself in a video game, even one that was a modification for another game produced non-commercially.
That's like really cool though. How did you get involved in? How did you get connected with them in order to do that?
Well, I just I played the original Sim Settlements and I really liked it, and so I, when they I started following the creator, watching his videos on YouTube. His name is King Gath, or his online name is, and when he put out a video, calling for people to get involved and help with the project. There was a link to the games or the mods forum, and they had a recruitment section, and there was a topic saying, we need voice actors, we need people who can, read a script and be a character, and so
And you were like, I passed college English. I can read a script.
yeah, and I was already sort of trying to find my way into. Well, actually, at the time, because I auditioned for the first version of the mod, Sim Settlements 1, they actually did do a big update with like crowd noise and characters. That was when they first started to add characters to the mod, and first started to expand the story of Fallout 4. And I auditioned for all the characters that I felt I could do, who had auditions open at the time. And I didn't get picked for any of them, but I was told that my audition tapes were used and mixed in with a bunch of other people's audition tapes for the crowd noise. And so I do technically have a voice credit in the original Sim Settlements as well.
Nice.
But that's sort of how I got started in it, and then I just kept paying attention, looking out for other characters that they were doing auditions for, and when I saw something that I felt I could do, I auditioned for it, and I got it.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm still working on. I've installed Fallout 4. I'm still working on finding all of the mods for it and getting them downloaded and installed.
Because I imagine you use Nexus rather than going through the Fallout.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you can, there's nothing wrong with like using the in-game mod tool, but like I just prefer. Nexus is so much easier. Like,
yeah, it gives you so much like more granular control.
Yeah.
Over like load order and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but
and it has, if I recall correctly, it has like tools built into it to sort of see which mods are conflicting with other mods. So
yes,
it makes it easier to sort of troubleshoot, like, my game crashes every time I go into this town. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly, Nexus Mod Manager had that. I'm not anywhere near as familiar with Vortex, even though it's been out for like years now. It came out right about the time that I was sort of getting off of the modding Bethesda games train. But I am sort of interested in getting back into it, and so yeah, I especially because now I have a reason to. I have this huge mod that I'm part of and adds like a whole bunch of stuff to the game. Like really, this is a huge scaled thing. And so,
I mean, the whole building the settlements on Fallout 4 is one of the reasons why I got so burnt out on that game.
Yeah.
Like every time I tried to play it.
Yeah.
It's like I really want to do the settlements thing, but the way it is implemented
is not the best.
Yeah, it's both the way you actually go about building the settlements, and also like the settlements just don't provide enough like tangible reward
Yeah.
In the base game to make it worth all of the fucking trouble that it takes
Yeah.
to get them set up and running really well. And it just felt like a really cool aspect of a Fallout game. That was sort of like, well, we put this in here because it seemed like the natural evolution of like crafting from Skyrim, but we didn't really finish making it what it could be. I would have rather it just not have been there, and it sounds like that mod does a lot to sort of make it more
deeper,
worth investing time into.
Yeah, like it adds a story, and that's a huge like bonus for me, because I think I've mentioned before that like I really need some kind of motivation outside of just, you know, number go up to, you know, keep me invested in a game. But so this adding a story helps, but also like it adds a tech tree. It adds, you know, different types of you know, it adds plots where, you know, you don't have to build a structure entirely by hand anymore. You can place down a plot, and settlers will go to that plot and decide to build, you know, quote unquote decide. The game is making a random determination, but in the fiction of the game, the settlers will go to the plot, decide which house they want to live in, and then they'll build that model of house without your input at all. And so it gives it a lot more life. It you know, it allows for the automation of some of these settlements to a certain degree, but it's, you know, it makes it a lot deeper. And I was fine, honestly, with the original implementation of the system. I enjoyed it. I got a lot out of it. But, you know, I can admit, Bethesda is Bethesda, and they've got... I don't want to say that they've got more ambition than skill, because I don't think that's the case. But I think that they don't necessarily think about the timelines and the sort of natural extensions of the ideas that they work on. And so, you know, you often find that they put these ideas in their games that sound really cool, but aren't as deep as they could be. They could be more deep. They could be more enjoyable. And, you know, for a combination of factors, both, you know, the timeline of release and also just they don't necessarily think about it. But it's, you know, as much as I do criticize them, I like their games. I enjoy, you know, the work that they do. But there's room for improvement, and that's why mods exist. You know?
Yeah, I think a big part of the problem with the Bethesda games is that there seems to be and this is most likely an upper management level decision, setting of priorities. It's like, you know, okay, cool, we have this idea, it's this really cool system that's going to allow us to build towns, and players are going to be able to, like, you know, do this and that. You know, blah blah blah, and then like that doesn't really like the implementation isn't as solid or smooth or something as they think it's gonna be, and they get it to a point where it is like stable, and I'm being very flexible with what I mean by stable. They get it to a point where it functions well enough. And they're like, cool, that's good, that's done. And then that's it. They just sort of like, maybe it was harder or taking longer than they expected to implement. And so that's why they they did that, or maybe they just
There may be an element of it's done, it's good enough, let's just get it over with.
yeah, it's good enough to ship,
Yeah.
and um, yeah. So
Yeah. And, you know, we can. I'm not necessarily saying that I could do any better.
I mean,
Um,
that describes literally every project that I've ever undertaken on my own.
yeah,
So
yeah, but you know, it doesn't necessarily take somebody who could do something better to point out valid criticism, and
right.
I mean, I think that a team of people who are working cooperatively could absolutely do much better.
Hmm.
Because you know, not only from the labor aspect of like, you know, people not being, you know, forced to just get something out there as soon as possible, but also from the standpoint of like when people are personally like when people have a stake in something, they feel like it's easier to care about it and it's easier to maintain that level of care. I'm not saying they don't care, but I think that there would be more of a concern for it. They would want it. It would be. See, I'm trying not to be too harsh. I'm trying not to be too harsh, but
Yeah.
I'm also trying
I
to
mean,
make a point that makes sense.
I think that like most of the people who work on video games, at least at the level where they are like designing the systems
Yeah,
in the game, I think most of them care a lot
yeah,
about the projects that they're working on.
yeah,
Um, I also think that they are under a lot of
yeah.
pressure to get a like what's the phrase, minimum viable product.
Yes, minimum viable product.
Yeah, they're under a lot of pressure to like get that done,
Yeah,
um under budget and under time.
yeah,
And oftentimes video games go over budget and overtime.
yes,
um and they still are not uh they still are not like they still don't meet all of the expectations that the publisher or developer set
yeah,
to fans about it. And part of that is like the whole hype train, right? And
yeah,
fans are like, oh, I see a building being built, and that means that I'm going to be able to make all of these like custom buildings to look exactly how I want, and blah 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 blah, right?
right.
Um, but like, what am I trying to say? Like it's not that they don't care, it's that like maybe it's like the problem that I have with my own projects where I'm like
Hmm.
super invested in it and really excited for how awesome it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then I sort of do this thing where I like plan for this really fucking awesome thing
Hmm.
that I don't actually have the ability to do, or I don't
Yeah.
have the time to do,
Yeah.
or something,
Hmm.
right? And so I think that that happens some of the time. I just think that there's like a um somebody at a management level um should have the responsibility, as well as like the understanding of the system and process as a whole,
Hmm.
to sort of be able to step back and say, okay, well, we have 2 years to make this video game, and you're talking about implementing a building system that we will design from scratch.
Yeah.
That seems a bit out of our depth.
Yeah.
And so like maybe let's talk about sort of like,
At the very least, putting it in later in a patch or something, or making a DLC
yeah,
out of it.
or like, what's an intermediary step
Yeah.
between what you want to do and like what I'm saying is possible.
Yeah.
And And like, I'm willing to be surprised and have this aspect go further than I think it can, but also like,
But also, we need to keep what's possible in mind.
yeah, we need to not put all of our eggs in the like in the building whole cities basket.
Yeah.
Um, sort of a thing. I don't know a better way of phrasing it than
No,
that.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I think, and I think that like a lot of what's possible and a lot of what's possible on a limited time frame is also affected by how many people you have working on something. And that's
Mhm.
something else that, a sort of cooperative model can allow, can allow employees to, direct that sort of thing. Because, the people working on a project can say, okay, we don't have enough people to get this done and we need more
Mhm.
people. So let's hire more people. Let's put together a hiring committee. And then they put together a hiring committee that they bring in more people. And now, the profits are, perhaps reduced for each person there because, a profit sharing cooperative thing, the profits are split equally. But at the same time, you have more people to do more, to accomplish more things, to make a better product that has larger appeal, and theoretically everybody profits more because of it.
Mhm.
you know
Mhm.
um and so in addition to, like, you know crunch is a topic that is being discussed, and that can help reduce that. It's it can, um, like I say, let employees sort of direct the timeline and drive production themselves, and it's easier on everybody, and it makes everybody feel more involved, and helps them sort of feel more accomplished, I think.
Yeah. Did you put snowballs somewhere?
I have not. I've got
Okay.
a
Did you
gray
take all the
wool.
snowballs then?
I've got snowballs, and I've got a lightning rod that I need to
Okay.
find a place for.
I put snowballs in the if you right in the hallway right behind you.
Okay.
Um they're far back on the left side.
Okay.
I just like picked a chest
Oh, right. Yeah.
and so.
Okay.
And you said you had gray wool?
One block of gray wool and one lightning rod.
Okay. I put some wool over where did I put it? Over here. Third hallway on the left side.
Okay.
And it's on the right side of the hallway.
All right.
This is the most confusing. I need to make better labels for the hallways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got light gray and white wool there. So
Okay.
um,
Might
I
we
need to find a
want
place
to
for
sort of
these.
flip these around so that white is at the end, and then we do the colors from there?
Sure.
Okay. All right. I'll take the white wool out.
Oh,
Take this carpeting.
That's not
Take
good.
gray wool. So let's put white wool. White wool. Uh, can you do white wool carpet?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move it over one then. And I think, like, carpet is the only other wool product that is still wool. Like, it's not another bed. It's not a bed. It's not like other furniture.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because you use wool to make like banners, but that's a
Yeah.
separate item.
Yeah, it's the only, like, carpet is the only direct wool derivative in Minecraft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Don't
Oh,
quote me on
fuck.
that.
So
I've never played Minecraft before, so
fair. So what we've got is we've got the wool block, and then the carpet next to it, and then the next color of wool and the carpet next to it. And we're sort of, actually, no, I take that back. White to gray to black makes sense, I think. Or wait, is this black,
there's
or is
like
it
white. There's white and there's
gray?
light gray, and I
Light
think you
gray
had
and then gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gray to light gray to white kind of makes sense to me. So we'll do the colors, and then we'll get to gray, and then light gray, and then white. Okay. And then a lightning rod. Do we know where that is yet? Do we know where that goes yet?
No, yeah, I think you can put it wherever. There's
Okay.
this. It might go. It
'Cause
might fit thematically with this row of like
Redstone?
tools.
Oh,
Oh, redstone. Yeah, redstone works.
yeah. Because, I mean, it's like the closest thing Minecraft has to electricity.
Yeah.
Redstone components. I guess I'll just put it in here. Okay. Well, no, actually, because that's not... that's more like... That's next... That's like almost directly next to the redstone. That's probably not the right place for it. I'll put it here, and then if it's not... If it's too close, we can move it later.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's.
Okay.
I think that'll be okay. Oh, where should I put the book? I have one random book.
Oh.
I just threw the book at you.
Do we have like...
Should it be...
Do we have like a dedicated like furniture section anywhere?
No.
Because I mean,
because like the doors and fences are with their types of wood.
yeah, that's true. Because I'm just thinking
with the leather.
without a or no, you can make a quill and book, right? That you can write
Yeah.
in. That's vanilla, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it here with the leather.
Okay.
Because the chicken feathers would also go here, and I
Yeah.
guess ink stacks would too.
Good
and that's how you
point.
make a quill and feather.
Good
So,
point. Because I was initially thinking, because the only thing you can do with books in Minecraft is make bookshelves, but that's not true because you can add the chicken. You can add the feather
Yeah.
and make a quill and book. Okay, so I think that's everything that we have right now to sort.
Yeah, we destroyed that chest.
Yeah.
So I think we're good.
Well, hot damn, we got done with this a lot faster than I thought we would, and it's
Cool.
only 8:30.
Stream's over. Y'all have a good early bedtime.
All right, see ya. No. All right.
We need to. So we have agreed that we're not going to advance to the next stage without Zach on stream.
Yeah,
or
I'd prefer
at
not
least
to do
playing with us, whether or not he's streaming himself. But without Zach here, we're not going to advance. But what we can do is we can do the hard work of making sure that the treasury has all of the item requirements, and that
Gotcha.
all of the houses have all of the item requirements.
Yeah, and I can keep working on after. I'll help you with that, and then I can keep working on the cafeteria upstairs, or upstairs, on the ground floor, and then work on the second set of offices, second office / set of offices once that's done, and then that's my plan so far. I think that'll probably take us to the end.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
we have 19 houses. We counted we counted earlier. I think last weekend.
yeah, something
we
like
counted. So each house needs 64 wood planks.
that. Okay.
64 cobble.
Mm-hmm.
5 lanterns. That one's gonna take some doing.
Okay.
15 food items.
Mm-hmm.
And a leather armor set
Okay.
on an armor stand.
Okay.
So that means we need 19 times 15. We need. So one of us needs to be holding 285 food and
Okay.
distribute that to all of the houses.
All right. I've got a bunch of food on me. Let me sort of calculate how much I've got.
I can toss you some beef too.
3. Does it matter specifically what the food is?
Nope, it can be any mix. It just has to total 15 items in that chest.
I've got 193 pieces of food on me right now.
Okay, cool. I can make a 30-piece dent in that.
Okay. And how much do we need totally?
285. There is some food
285.
in the back hallway on the left.
Okay. So I need
There's
92
some
more
like
pieces of food.
there's some carrots and
Okay.
there's a lot of beets and there's a bunch of bowls in one
Yeah.
of the chests. So
Yeah. I'll go.
I guess just keep in mind that the beetroot soup doesn't stack, which sucks.
Yeah. So I won't take all of the melons, but I'll take this. So, yeah, I'll just get stuff and then add it up again later. Oh, that's not right.
So I think the big things are going to be we're going to need 19 armor stands
Mm-hmm.
and then 19 full sets of leather armor, which means I should probably go breed the cows
Yeah.
right now, and then yeah, because that's going to take a while to get all of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see what I've got now. Two.
Here I come to breed the cows. Get ready for that frame rate drop. Also, let me know if you need more beef, because I'm currently carrying 29 pieces.
Okay. I am now at 334 pieces of food.
Sweet. And there is food, I believe, in all of the houses right now. I just don't know if it's 15
Okay.
in each one already, or if it might be 10.
Okay. Well, I think that sounds like more than I'm absolutely going to need, and I can't run right now, so I'm going to eat a bread. Also, I need to make my tools, remake some tools. Weapons and tools and armor. Now I was thinking we would put crossbows in the same chest as bows.
Oh yeah, I didn't see any crossbows anywhere, so I just made a chest.
Actually, no, that's actually probably a better, because if we don't put crossbows in their own thing, we might forget that they're in the same chest as the bows, and that might not be intuitive. So, actually, I think you've got a better approach to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like space is not an issue in there right now.
Yeah.
So I just figured it doesn't really hurt. Oh, there's a bunch of food in this chest up here too.
Oh, okay.
Was this you working on the side room of the town hall? I know that you had mentioned expanding it.
Yeah.
Cool. I have no other comment. I was just curious.
Okay.
Oh, look at all this iron.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that food that's in the chest up there. Yeah, that's for, like, it's supposed to be a cafeteria, so there's some food for us. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat. All right, I'm going to work on these lanterns. I need 95 of them.
Okay.
And I need iron nuggets, I think.
Pickaxe.
Yes.
And then, what's this? Okay. I'll put the fishing rods. Yeah, I'll move all these down as well.
All right. I got 32 lanterns.
Nice.
So let's see about that. I'm gonna be upset if there are already lanterns in these houses.
Hmm.
Am I gonna have to make another spreadsheet?
Uh,
Like,
you
I
might
feel
end
like I
up
made a
having to,
spreadsheet.
yeah. Oh, there was a golden hoe somewhere. Do you remember where that was?
I don't know about the golden hoe. I did have a golden shovel that I put in one of the
Yeah,
chests.
I found the golden shovel and I put yeah, that's the annoying thing about golden shovels now is that they're our
They're
wand
the
tool.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I know I didn't. It was in one of the empty chests, and it was a golden tool, so I didn't want to like make it the, you know,
Mhm.
representation because it's kind of nice, you know.
All right, I'm gonna make a spreadsheet
Okay, fair enough.
because otherwise I'm gonna drive myself bonkers trying to figure this out.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the one of the other things that's really impressed me about this new computer is that the cooling I think is much better than my old one. Like you know, a lot of the outer case is metal, so like that's going to be cooler to the touch anyway. But like,
Mhm.
you know, I'm playing a game right now. The fans are spinning, and it's pretty damn quiet, and also it's cold to the touch. You know, like
Yeah.
this is such a significant upgrade from what I had before.
hmm Yeah, the other nice thing is, or the other aspect to that
Mhm.
is, metal is a much better conductor and transferer.
Yeah.
Um, allows for much faster transfer of heat.
Mm.
So, um,
Oh shit, are we really out of iron?
oh, I have all of it.
Oh, you have all of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to
Um,
say like
yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure how much I was going to need for the lanterns.
that's all right. I'm just going to
Okay,
smelt
so
some
I
of this
need
raw.
house, food, wood,
So I need
cobble,
sword,
lantern. What else do we need?
pickaxe,
Armor.
pickaxe.
Okay, so in the game, we have now. I've got my laptop out, and I'm like, we've got Andrew Memorial. That has nothing. Are all of these chests empty? Uh-oh. This isn't good. This is not good at all. Oh no. Hey, I'm gonna redo all of these signs on these houses.
Okay, that's fine. They're not standardized anyway. It was something that we would eventually need to address, so.
Yeah.
You happen to know where sticks are off the top of your head?
I have several on me. I am up here by your old houses.
Okay. I'll head up there because I'm trying to make myself a new set of tools because I think I put them all in the chests, and some of them are the item frames, so I didn't want to move those. Okay, here I am. I think I just need like. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, and yes, this is Alice's house. She is not, playing with us tonight, but she doesn't stream either, and she hasn't talked so far, right? Or has
I
she
think
talked?
she's talked a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
But we
yeah.
we figure she's not interested in streaming, so she can do whatever she wants on stream, off stream. That's fine. But for the rest of us, who are interested in being on the stream and slash or streaming, we're trying to keep most of the big stuff to A, when we're all together, and B, when, we're streaming. So that's why we're doing this evening instead of something else.
All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to make the houses follow the path.
Yeah.
Oh, also, only one of us needs to sleep.
Yes, that's true. I'm right near a bed. You cannot sleep during a thunderstorm. That's fun.
You cannot sleep during a thunderstorm?
Yeah, that's what it just said.
That's strange. It's not a thunderstorm.
I wonder if there is a thunderstorm somewhere in the world. and
it's just nope.
Because we have this mod that makes it so that only one person in the world needs to sleep. If there's a thunderstorm anywhere in the world, nobody can sleep.
But usually thunderstorms are one of the conditions during which you can sleep.
That's true. That's weird. That must be a mod thing then. Or something.
5, 6. Trying to follow this path around. 5, 6. Pick up sticks.
They'd probably be near the wood, right? Sticks.
7. No, I'm just
Oh, okay.
It's 1, 2. Tie your shoes.
Oh,
3,
yeah.
4. Out the door. 5, 6. Pick up 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate?
No, wait. Here are all the flowers and stuff. So.
Let's see. That was number 7. This is number.
We use miscellaneous
8.
Plants, flowers. I'm going to put sticks near the leaves, miscellaneous plants, and flowers.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember that in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I will not hold you accountable for things that I do not remember.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so I just did 8. My house is 9. This house here is 10.
Oh God. Holding a stick is... You can't hold a stick and right-click things.
There are lanterns in some of these houses. Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the houses, the chests are empty, and some of them, the chests have this stuff in them. I wonder if somebody was on and was like, "Oh, I need food. Oh, here's a chest with food in it."
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Though, they say do not use on them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to think about people who do that.
Okay. So what houses have you already done, or the houses that you're
working on naming, labeling all the houses. So I'll take an inventory once I'm done with that.
Okay. So you haven't messed with any of the actual chests yet.
Correct. I've just looked at a few of them.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and start. So it's 15 items of food in each chest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And will you tell me the number of the house that you...
So I'm in number 1 right now.
Okay, so you're doing 15.
Yeah. 1.
Cool. And I've got a spreadsheet open that I'm keeping track of it in, so...
Okay. I need to... redo this. There we go. Okay. 2, 3.
16. Okay, I have 16 houses. There's 17 over here. 17. Okay. I feel like every time I think I'm done counting, there's always one more that I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize this was a house or something.
Oh, this is a nice entryway for Alice's house.
I really like the amethyst in
Yeah.
the walkway.
Yeah, this is cool. It's like a wizard's tower, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a bit bare inside, but I think she's got plans to
Yeah, I wouldn't be
do
surprised.
it up. Okay, so 16 currently has 10 food.
Okay. I've moved on to number
Um,
2 now.
and number 2 has you put 15 food in it?
I am currently doing that.
Okay. Um,
Okay. Just finished. And now heading up to number 4. Okay, number 4 has 10, 11, and eggs. Do eggs count as food?
no, eggs do not count as food. They're not edible.
Honeycomb?
I don't. Can you eat it?
I don't know. I've never seen it before.
Try eating it.
Okay. It's in the do not use chest, though.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Okay.
you've got food to replace it.
Yeah, that's
so-
true. No, you cannot eat it. It's a crafting material.
Okay.
Okay, so this only has 10 food then.
And you're putting 5 more in it.
I'll put 5 more in it, yeah.
And it has probably 16 logs.
Yep, 16 logs, 64 cobblestone, 5 lanterns, 64 plus 28 wheat seeds, 11 eggs, 1 bread. Oh, it has 11 food in it. 3 honeycomb, and 64 light gray carpet, and then 5 melon slice.
I think. Oh, the melon slices are food too. I think you
Yeah.
can take everything that's not food, wood, cobble, and lanterns out.
Okay.
If you feel like carrying that stuff for a bit.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Um,
That's fine. Egg. So wheat seeds, egg. Honeycomb, and light gray carpet. So now it just has 64 cobble, 16 acacia log, 5 lantern, 10 carrot, 1 bread, and 4 melon. Okay. All right. That's number 4. I'm moving on to number 3.
Okay. This is the most riveting stream.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Everybody's
Well,
like, wait, how many food does number 5 have?
people can, put it on, because I mean, I have one viewer right now. Hello to you. It could be me watching my own stream on OBS. Who knows? But for the VOD, people can just like put it on and switch in the background and switch to another tab and do something else. Because I mean, essentially at this point, it's a podcast. 64 cobble, 16 birch log, 5 lantern, and 10 carrot. So
Okay.
I'll add a few beetroot. Okay. So 15 food in there now, and then cobble, birch, and lantern.
Cool. So far, in most of the houses, it seems like we are only going to need to do the armor stands and add more food.
Yeah. Okay, number 5
So-
now. That's, is there, oh, there's a bunch of chests in here. Okay, here's the do not use chest. Okay. So the do not use chest has 64 cobble, 16 birch log, 5 lantern, and 10 carrot.
That's number 5.
Yeah.
It has 16 logs.
16 logs, yeah.
Cool. I think I was doing that when I did all of them last time.
Okay.
Because it was like the easiest way.
Yeah. I've added 4 beetroot and a melon slice
Cool.
to bring it up to 15 food. Number 5. All right. I
I am
guess
at
I'll go.
a fucking loss for where
Number 6.
cabins or houses 18 and 19 are, though.
They might be upstairs.
Now, I think I've done all the upstairs ones. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I get lost.
Number 6, checking the chest. Yep, again, just 10 carrots. Everything else is 64, 16, 5, and then 10. So I'll add some melon slices.
Oh. Dennis has been busy.
Okay.
That was number 6.
That was number 6. And now I'm going up to numbers 11 and 12. So number 11.
Yes. Yes. In the correct order.
Yes. Okay. This one is 64, 16, 5, 10. So I'll add some bread. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's got all the food it needs. Now number 12. 64, 16, 5, 10. So big potatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11 and 12 are done. There's 2 memorial houses up here.
Hang on a second.
I'll stay standing here for a second so you can find them.
Yeah. So I just did house number 7 is all set.
Okay.
That's where I just was. Is that you?
I'm over here.
Did I see you out of the corner of my
Maybe.
screen?
Do you see? I'm jumping.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So 2 more memorial
Here we go.
houses.
And I think it's because
yes.
yeah, this isn't.
I forgot about this set of stairs.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
need to
okay.
replace these stones here because they should be dirt, so that we can make the path continuous.
So this is 18, and this one is 19. Okay, cool. Cool. And then, okay, so I'm taking care of these 2 memorial houses
Okay.
because I happen to have some food on me now.
Okay. I'll leave those for the minute then. 10 doesn't have a door.
Yeah, I know. One of us should just grab a door. Or there's a few houses. Actually, 18 doesn't have a door either.
Oh, really?
There are
Okay.
a few houses that have a bunch of wood planks in them.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, number 5 has some doors in it.
Oh, okay.
In the big chest.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna grab one of those now. Actually, I guess I'll just get. Oh, did you already get them?
No, I haven't. I'm
Okay.
mining some dirt.
Cool. I got a couple doors. I will throw doors on the. Houses in question. Where's number 10? Right.
10 here. Yeah. There we are.
Yeah.
What's the chest look like? Okay.
Just didn't have any food in it.
Cool.
So that's fixed. Okay, cool. So
11 and 12 are done.
8 and 9 need food, 5
Okay.
food, and then 13 through 17 need 5 food each.
Okay. I need to find 8 and 9. Seven is fine. Ten. 17. 13. 14. 15 and 16. Where's 8 and 9?
8 and 9 are right here in the kind of in the front, behind you, back towards town hall.
Back towards town hall.
Yeah, these two right here.
Okay, right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going into 8. Oh no, wait, this isn't the right chest. Okay, 64, 16, 5, 10. I'll just give him more carrots. 15 carrots. Nine. Five more carrots. Okay.
Where did you put the stick? Actually, I don't want to use the sticks. I want just give me some.
I put the sticks.
Wood.
I put the sticks next to the leaves and other flower and other plants. Let's see. That's 18 and 19. Okay, so it was. We've gotten up to like 12, and then it's like 13 onwards, right? Still need stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
17 or yeah, 13 to 17.
13 to 17. Okay. Now I just have to find 13.
I need to make.
Oh, that's my house. Yeah. Give myself another carrot.
Slab.
And a few more melon slices. There we go. Okay. That's all set. 13 is set. 14. Now, why am I doing that? $14 is done. Let's see, 15 is done. Going into 16. 16 is done. And now 17.
17 is your last.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is that every single house good on, I guess, emergency supplies?
Yes, that is all of the houses good on, shoot, on that aspect of what they need.
Cool. Okay.
So I'm making the armor stands.
All right.
For all of them. And I'm now done with that. So that's cool and fun and good.
Yep.
Where did you say you put sticks again?
They are with the leaves and other plants.
Ah, okay, cool. Sweet. Now I have to remember where we put the carpets. Here, carpet, 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 carpet.
They're like the 4th or 5th hallway, I think, on the right side Near the end. Oh, wait. Now, your opinion on something. The cafeteria is going to be directly above the hot spring. So certainly for like, yeah, I think a lot of this, whatever the floor of the cafeteria is going to be the ceiling of the hot spring. So what material should it be?
What about like the smooth stone, or not the smooth stone? The like, when you bake cobblestone, right?
Yeah.
And you get smooth stone, and then
Yeah.
you bake that smooth stone,
Oh,
and you
okay.
get the like polished smooth stone, I guess.
Hmm.
That's what it should be. Why am I not? I cannot find this fucking carpet to save my life.
I'm down here now. Let me help you. It's at the like far end of one of the hallways. I think that might be it.
Oh, here it is. Cool.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah, it's right
business.
here. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the smooth stone, it looks good as a like floor for a
Okay.
cafeteria. And I think it also works. I think it also works pretty well as like a ceiling for the hot springs, because it's like you could imagine using the ceiling. You could imagine the ceiling for the hot springs being like a polished or hardened stone to help
Yeah.
hold in the heat and moisture.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to grab a bunch of cobblestone and start cooking it up.
So while you're doing that, so I made a new Twitter account today for myself.
Ooh.
Because I have zero self-respect and also want to participate in the downfall of the world.
Fair.
Look, if the world is going to end, the least that I want to be able to do is fire off a few extraordinarily mild takes as it's happening.
Valid.
So so my Twitter account, for all of our viewer who are interested, is at Snack Anarchist.
Okay.
And I made a tweet today.
Nice.
It was very exciting. My tweet is about something actually that I kind of want your opinion on.
Okay.
My take on this, which is basically like, and I may have said this before on this on a stream here before, but basically like I think that Joe Biden is like very concerned with his legacy.
Yeah.
Like how he's remembered, and I suspect that he like wants to be remembered as being on the right side of history. And like I didn't say this in the tweet, like it's too nuanced for a Twitter. But like I suspect that he knows that he feels like his like past positions, like on busing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
are not seen currently and will not be seen as on the right side of history. And so in some respects he's like has desperately wanted to be president because he's wanted to like correct that.
Yeah.
Or not correct it in the sense that he wants to like undo the damage caused by those policies,
Yeah.
but just that he wants to
He wants to look better.
Yeah, he wants his like lasting legacy to not be the guy who plagiarized a speech and argued for states' rights
Right.
in a desegregated busing issue.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think that Joe Biden like cares very deeply about his legacy, wants to be seen as like having been on the right side of history.
Axe. I need an axe.
But I don't think that he cares at all about what policy or policies get him there.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem because it basically means that he's not going to fight for any specific policy until it's like, well, the Democrats lost their majority in the midterms in 2022.
Yeah.
And he's got this lame duck session in which to get things, to get his like big like legacy policy passed.
Yeah.
Or if the Democrats don't lose their majorities in the midterms, then it's going to happen in the lame duck session in 2024 because either he's not going to get reelected or he's not going to run again, whatever. And so basically he's going to like pull out all the stops at that point during like the lame duck session to get, let's just say, a voting rights bill passed or an infrastructure bill passed. But at that point, like in a lame duck session, like if you can't convince Joe Manchin to vote for your bullshit, like now, like there's no way you're going to convince him in a lame duck session where there's like zero political incentive for Joe Manchin to do that. And then like also there's a whole bunch of other senators and Congress people, Democrats, who like are probably to some degree like, I need to be on board with what the Democrats are doing right now because like otherwise somebody's going to try to primary me. And because they're going to be like, you wasted this one opportunity. Joe Manchin doesn't give a fuck about that. Like nobody's going to primary Joe Manchin, right? And the way Joe Manchin sees it, his potential opposition is a Republican.
He's worried about being too liberal, not being liberal enough.
Yeah, and I have all sorts of problems with that philosophy, but that's the reality of it for Joe Manchin. And what the hell? Somebody did something funky with the spruce over here. Anyways, what's going on? So yeah, like I have opinions about what Biden and the Democrats should be doing about Joe Manchin. Namely that they should be publicly announcing right now that if he's not going to vote in favor of Build Back Better, they will be supporting a different Democrat running for his position in West Virginia in the future.
Because like the only way that a more, I use the term advisedly, more left-wing Democratic candidate is going to succeed in Manchin's seat is with the full backing of the Democratic Party establishment. And the only reason that the Democratic Party establishment would ever support a candidate like that is if they have if it's like politically advantageous for them for something like, say, Build Back Better. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, there's this idea that it's better to have a blue seat representing a state than a red seat. And I would say that sounds great, assuming that blue seat ever votes with other blue seats.
Yeah, assuming that blue seat means anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't in Manchin's case.
Exactly.
So yeah, so my the thing I posted on Twitter, I'm calling it a microwavable take.
Okay.
Because it's a take that gets hotter the
Okay.
closer it gets to being relevant.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So, set your microwaves for January 2025, and we'll see how hot that take is. But
oh God, yeah. I was like, wait, why 2025? And then I remembered, oh no, wait, we just started a new presidential administration.
yeah, it feels like nothing's changed.
It feels like nothing's changed.
One.
Yeah. Not only does it feel like nothing's changed because of COVID, it feels like nothing's changed because the Democrats and the Republicans are the same party.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, there's just so many problems with like just Biden, just like,
Yeah. There's just so many problems with Biden in general.
Yeah, I think there's an aspect in which like electing somebody who was a legislator, especially somebody who has been like a lifetime legislator,
Yeah.
to be president is bad, because what they do is they're very much like Biden has said that he doesn't want to strong arm the legislative process, because
Yeah.
like he didn't like it when presidents tried to do that when he was in the Senate.
Yeah.
And dude, I totally get it, but like also at the same time, like if things need to get done and the people
Yeah.
who need to be strong armed are in your own party,
Yes.
like apply some fucking pressure, man.
Yeah.
And Manchin is like, I was listening to a NPR story today, and they were saying that like in the past, when that sort of strong arm tactic has been applied to Manchin by
Yeah.
Democrats, he sort of like digs his heels in even more,
Uh-huh.
which to me is like further indication that like the Democrats need to be like, okay, well, like these are our key sort of issues that you
Yeah.
need to like.
You either
be in
need to get
favor
with the
of.
rest of the party or you need to not be in the party.
Yeah, and like, look, Joe Manchin has received more fossil fuel campaign money than any other person in the Senate.
Yeah.
If Joe Manchin wanted to run as an independent to sort of like keep that West Virginia seat occupied by somebody who's going to be friendly to fossil fuel interests,
Yeah.
he will get the financing to run a successful
Oh,
campaign.
absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
he will not lose, because like incumbency is like the most powerful advantage. Incumbency is more powerful than money
Yeah.
in terms of winning elections.
That
And like,
that one post that's like, why does the president always win the election? Like it's a joke, but like it's also true. Like the sitting president tends to win re-election because anybody who's already got an office, voters are more likely to go, I'd rather not risk change, and they vote for the same person.
right, exactly. So like, if the Democrats are worried about like, somebody who is like occasionally like amiable to some of the things that they want to do, and like they're worried about alienating poor fucking Joe Manchin
Yeah.
by kicking him out of the party, or by like refusing official DNC support
Yeah.
during a campaign, like he's gonna be okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and he's gonna vote the way he's gonna vote. Like,
Yeah.
he might be mad and
Like
like
he
for one, yeah, for one congressional session
yeah.
or like 1 year, like not vote with the Democrats on anything.
Yeah.
But like, he's also not a reliable vote with the Democrats now.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
what the fuck is the difference?
Yeah. Like and like if he was to run as an independent on a, pro fossil fuels platform, like honestly, there's kind of a decent chance I think that he would run as a libertarian. Like I think it would be fucking hilarious. And part of me would enjoy seeing it as, a person who is very pro third party, but also I hate the libertarians. I think they're fucking idiots. So,
Right.
it's that too. But I think that, the Democrats don't need to worry about whether Joe Manchin's going to be okay. Like, that is not their responsibility. They need to worry about making sure, like, even I don't like them, but even from the aspect of, like, competently running a political party, what they need to be worried about is making sure that everybody in their party is voting along party lines. Like, that's just how you run a political party.
Yeah. When the margins are
Yeah,
this narrow, right? When it's the vice president's vote that like makes or breaks a tie
yeah,
in the Senate, like a party line tie,
yeah,
then yeah, you need to like do whatever you need to do in order to basically say like this should have been wrapped the like Build Back Better bill bullshit should have been wrapped up in in a fucking week.
yeah,
They should have been like, they should have had a meeting and been like, this is the bill.
yeah,
Like, everybody has 1 week to submit like amendments that they would like to see in
yeah.
order to vote in favor of the bill. And if Joe Manchin and like Kirsten Sinema want to do this like fucking I
Power
don't
play.
know, yeah, I don't know a better fucking word about it than like pussyfooting. There has to be like a
Yeah,
non-gendered version of that. But like, if they want to do this fucking pussyfooting around about it, then then like, then like inside of 2 weeks, the rest of the Democratic Party should have just gone, okay, so we're not going to bring this to the Senate. We're not going to bring this to a vote in the House or Senate because we know that we don't have y'all's vote. But what we will do is we will parade the text of this bill around and say, this is a bill that was created with the input of all of the Democrats except for Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema
yeah,
because they didn't want to vote for it, period.
yeah,
And so they will not be running as Democrats
yeah,
in the midterms
yeah,
or in their next election.
yeah,
And like you two can do with that whatever you want, but like we're getting on top of the narrative. Instead, they like let Joe Manchin come out and say like, "Oh, I'm worried about like the cost to Americans of this bill, and
yeah,
I'm worried that it's going to cost more. I'm worried that the true cost isn't being reflected in this 1.5 trillion number or whatever."
Well, I mean,
And it's like, yeah,
yeah, and this is kind of a related topic. This is something that we've kind of been trying to talk about on Thinkwing for a long time, but other news stories, shit just keeps happening, and we can't get to it. But like a lot of the talk about the Build Back Better bill did not even include the fact that like that huge $1 trillion cost or whatever is actually going to be spread out over like a decade. Like, it's not going to be, we pass this bill, immediately the Treasury loses $1 billion. Like, that's not what's happening. It's going to be spending on infrastructure, which, is going to theoretically stimulate the economy, which is great from a capitalist electoral perspective, I would think. So, we're going to make that money back in tax revenue. But on top of that, it's not even going to be spent all at once. It's going to be spent out over several years. Like,
how much less maintenance is Amazon going to have to pay for their fleets?
Yeah.
If like roads are getting paved at regular intervals,
Yeah.
repaved at regular intervals,
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
How much money would Amazon save on their fleets if the federal government was behind a big financial push. Like if the federal government financed a
Well, that's
big
fine.
push to basically like make highways, uh, like intercity highways and interstates have um, like regular, like high capacity electric vehicle charging stations,
Yeah.
and then like Amazon is like, cool. Now we're gonna come in. I moved your stone over, by the way.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Um, Amazon comes in, and Amazon is then like, cool. Now that the federal government has basically built all of these charging stations
Oh, by the
for
way,
electric vehicles,
I've got two
what we're
lanterns.
gonna do?
I've got
Say
two.
what?
I've got two lanterns here that I moved from the hot springs because I was redoing things. So here you go.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Sorry. Please continue.
Amazon can then basically come in and be like, in any state or even with the federal government, they can be like, yo, okay, so here's the deal. We're going to change over 30% of our long haul fleet to these electric trucks.
Yeah.
There are companies that are like developing electric powered semis. So Amazon can come along once the charging stations are all built, can come along and say, hey, federal government or state government, we're going to change, 30% of our California fleet
Yeah.
to be these EV trucks. But the thing is like, we crunch the numbers, and paying for all of that electric charging, like, and the time that it would take our truckers, it represents like this little bit of a loss
Yeah.
for us in our profitability. So can you give us a tax credit or a tax rebate every year for like the amount that we pay to charge those vehicles
Yeah. And politicians
at
would
these
like,
stations?
and politicians would
Oh
cream
yeah.
themselves at the chance to do that.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, look, I've passed this, I helped pass this like tax legislation that only benefits Amazon,
Yeah.
but like that like helps helps make Amazon's fleet more green and provides guarantees jobs for truckers into the future and like, whatever, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And it's like that shit is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The liberals who aren't paying attention to anything are gonna love that for like the whole greenwashing aspect, and then the conservatives who I think some of whom aren't paying attention, but a lot of whom are paying attention and literally love when people suffer, are going to love that Amazon is getting free money.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing.
Yeah, they're going to be like, "Oh, good. See, this is the correct way
Yeah.
to do, you know, uh, environmental
Policy.
legislation."
Yeah.
Where it's like this company that already wanted to go green,
Yeah.
is now getting a tax, what's the word that I'm looking
Is now getting a
for?
tax credit for doing it,
Yeah,
and so it
I'm
makes
looking
it
for like
viable for them
there's
to
like
do it.
they're getting like a personalized tax
Yeah.
policy. It's not a tax policy that anybody can get. I don't get a tax rebate for charging it at federally built, charging stations.
Yeah.
No, not me, not me, but like Amazon does.
Yeah.
Um, so meanwhile, Amazon will be like, oh yes, we have calculated that it takes, to drive from point A to charging station, it takes X amount percent or X percent of your truck's battery capacity,
Yeah.
which means that it's going to take, um, in the high capacity charging station, it's going to take 58 minutes and 31 seconds to charge back to 100%.
Yeah.
Which means you have 60 minutes to stop there.
Yeah.
And so their drivers are still going to be treated just as fucking shitty.
Oh, yeah.
Like the same.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a lot of things that capitalism could do to be more efficient and make more money, but they don't do it because it's not necessarily about efficiency. It's not necessarily about maximizing profit. It's about like maximizing profit while keeping the system in place. And I think there's a very similar thing going on with a lot of these, like, you know, obvious political strategies that would be successful and would work, but electoral, like capitalist electoralism doesn't do, because it's not like, it doesn't maintain the system as well.
Right.
It's just like doing everything the same. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see about this. Yeah.
Okay, I need these fucking cows to breed and grow faster. I also need to finish this library. Alright, cows, are y'all ready to fuck again? Yes, you are. Hell yes, you are.
Y'all
Get it,
ready to fuck?
cows.
Da 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 da. Anyway.
Feeding the baby cows the wheat, they'll like grow faster, right?
I have
Or
no
do they
idea.
just like spontaneously grow?
I'm really not sure, unfortunately.
Okay, time to look that up. I need to know if I just wasted half of my wheat or not.
Hmm.
Breeding.
Actually, I might need one more lamp down
yes.
here. I think I need one more lantern down here.
Okay, cool. Yes, every wheat that you feed a baby cow
Mm-hmm.
takes 10% off of the remaining time
Oh, okay.
for them to grow up. And it takes them 20 minutes to grow up. And so the first one would take, what is that, 2 minutes off of the time?
Hmm.
And then the next one would take
Thank you.
a minute, a little over a minute.
Where
I
the
threw some
fuck?
lanterns in the water for you.
Yeah,
I think
I'm looking for them.
floated away. I think I see it.
They're not in my inventory.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck? Where'd they go? There we go. Yeah, I think I just needed the one just right there. So hang on. Let me give you the other two back.
Cool. I mean, you can hang on to them. And
Oh,
then
okay.
You can need
All right.
them at any point.
Yeah, I'll hang on to them just in case I need them then. Okay, thanks.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's really, the whole thing is like really frustrating. Like the whole like Biden mansion sort of like
Feud.
yeah, it's just like it's this thing where like you know that they're like buddy
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
and
because like they have the same views. It's just not politically convenient for one of them to hold on to those views at the moment.
yeah.
You know, I'm
Sorry,
kind of
can't talk killing cows.
That's fine. I'm kind of considering a skylight slash like glass floor segment of the cafeteria, but considering we had that whole thing a few weeks ago about skirts, I don't want to invite that again. So I'm gonna not do that.
Yeah, I think it's weird for the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So
It was just I was just thinking about it because like I carved out a big space of the dirt ceiling for the stone blocks, and I thought, oh, that lets a lot of light in. That might be nice, but then I thought, no, it wouldn't fit. Let's see here.
Okay, it seems like there is no advantage to breeding to have an adult nearby.
Okay.
So that means all the grown-up cows are going bye-bye. And now the baby cows are left alone and traumatized in the pen. As it should be.
As it should be.
For baby cows. I consider myself a vegan, and cows do not count as animals in my book. So,
okay.
Beef, perfectly fine to eat.
Okay. I'm suspicious of that, but okay. It doesn't matter enough to me to argue.
That doesn't track for you?
That does not track for me. That does not, no.
Okay, well, shows what you know.
I suppose it does.
Look, I once read a Gawker article about a celebrity who said that they were vegan in one interview once, so...
Okay.
I'm basically an expert.
Oh, Zach's here. Wonder if they're going to hop on voice chat. Yes, I think this is good. I think this is nice. I like this. I enjoyed this.
I feel like there was another thing that I was gonna say. All right, back to my spreadsheet.
Options, controls. Keybinds. Sneak is left alt. Thank you. I find that more comfortable. Caught you red-handed. In my room.
Are you sleeping?
I'm not. I guess that was Zach.
I guess so.
Right.
I guess so.
I suppose.
Alright, this is 15. Trying to figure out how many more leather boots I need to make. That's 13 does not have it. 14 does have it. Nine. Those boots. Eight. Those boots. Seven. Has boots. Yes, so last week y'all on Thinkwing had a classic.
Yes.
Classic episode.
Last week and the week before, we elected. Hello, Torn Apart 23. Nice to see you. Sorry that It's been a few minutes since since you chatted. But yeah,
torn apart.
last week on Thinkwing and the week before, we decided to run older episodes. A little behind the scenes look here. Last week, Mike had a really bad day and was not ready, was not like in the mood to do a show. But it just so happened that it was like the anniversary and a day of our January 6th show. January 6th response show, rather.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I started listening to the episode. I did not realize that it was like a rerun.
Yeah,
at first.
You missed my preface at the beginning?
I like started it before I actually put my headphones in, which I usually do because the intro is very long.
Yeah.
Usually, so I like walk to HEB basically every day.
Okay.
And it's like it's an hour to an hour and a half walk, depending on how long I spend inside the store. And so usually I will listen to the show on that walk.
Oh, okay.
And it's like it's nice because I'm like walking, and usually the weather's good, and yeah, I don't know. It's just a nice way to sort of be like,
yeah,
cool. I'm going to get out of the house a little bit. I'm going to like get the blood flowing and like catch up on my local news podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah. But usually I like start the show playing, and then like, you know, like put my headphones in, like in the phone, and then like tell Autumn bye and do the whole thing. So I think I missed it through that.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Yeah, but yeah, once I realized, I think I got like 5 or 6 minutes into the actual like story, and then I was like, oh, this is an old episode? Okay, never mind, I'll listen to something else instead. Yeah.
Okay.
So I haven't.
So you didn't actually listen to it. Okay, well that's fine.
I didn't actually listen to it. But I'm curious actually, did you listen to it recently? Like
partially.
Okay.
Just to make sure that it was the right thing, and
okay. I'm curious if your like feelings about any of it have changed in the year since.
I don't specifically remember exactly what all was said, so I don't know how different this will be from what we broadcast. But I mean, I certainly think that I know that there are people who, you know, treat it like it was a, you know, a step onto the ledge moment for American democracy. And I know that there are people who treat it like it was just another Tuesday. And I'm neither of those positions. I think that like it was bigger than just, you know, it was bigger than just a bunch of idiots going to the Capitol and wrecking shit. But it was not like there was no chance that they were ever going to like actually overturn the election or overthrow the U.S. government. Like there was no chance of that. So you know it's 2 stacks of iron. Okay. Front right.
I think it's front left.
Oh. Front left.
There
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, like, it... Okay, hang on, I need to put... Let's see. Divide this up. I don't remember. I don't think they have. I don't think he has.
He did, yes.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yes, I took it out of that chest. Tell him if he wants the records of the trade agreement, then he's going to have to get on voice chat.
Okay.
Just kidding. You don't have to tell him that.
Records of the trade. Oh, okay, fuck. Trying this sentence again for like the millionth time. I think that, like, January 6th had some significance, but not as much significance as a lot of people put onto it. There was no chance of them ever overthrowing the American government or even overturning the election. Not them, not the people who were at the Capitol.
Right.
We learned later that there were some attempts to cause doubt in the electors in some of the state capitals, and one attempt got very close, and nobody knew about it until, like, records were uncovered. Basically, they essentially had an alternate series of electors, and the plan was to submit an alternate ballot for those electors. And so Congress would receive 2 ballots for that state. I forget which state it was. With one with the legitimate Biden electors, presumably Biden, I'm not sure actually, and one with the electors that certainly would have just all been Trump. Like, even if Trump had won the original thing, like, this one would have just all been Trump. And because the Congress would have received 2 different elector ballots, they would have been like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? Now this whole election has been called into question, essentially. That was the plan. And I think they got caught, and I think it got stopped before they could actually, cause this confusion. But they got kind of close. And so, that's the kind of thing that would have successfully overturned the election. The Capitol riot itself would not have done that. However, like, this is definitely, like, a sort of this is a sort of indicator that, like, blind patriotism is not necessarily enough to control the conservative sections of the population anymore. They are sort of starting to go, the backslide into fascism is progressing. And I think, it's not something that should just be ignored, but it's not necessarily like, we still have a chance to fight it, to stop them from having an impact. And obviously, we still have the chance to protect ourselves and our communities. I think yeah, in as much as I'm trying to figure out how to say what I want to say well, I'm also trying to figure out what the fuck to say. Because this is why, if you've listened to the show, you may have noticed that I sound a little bit scripted, and I do. I do kind of script my responses. And it's because without that, this is
when, like, time is of the essence.
Yeah, without that, or, like, Mike uses notes, and he will partially, I think he partially scripts some stuff, but he's nowhere near as detailed about it as me. If I don't, and I've recently been trying to kind of switch over to bullet point notes instead of an actual, like, typed out paragraphs, but it's difficult for me to do because I don't like to read bullet points. I like to have full sentences. That's easier for me to just process in the back of my mind. But like if I don't have something in front of me, if I'm reacting to things live, it's not necessarily that good. But yeah, I just I think that we do need to take the increasing fascism of conservatism, of American conservatives, seriously. I don't think we should make it bigger than it is. I don't think we should give them more power than they actually have in our own minds, but I think that it is a legitimate threat, and we need to come up with some kind of, not just we as leftists, but like people in general in American society need to come up with some kind of response to it, some kind of way of protecting ourselves, because we can't have a revolution if we're dead, and also if people who like the way that America works don't do something, it's going to fundamentally change. It's going to radically change.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
It's probably black pill of me, but I don't think anything's going to change until those people are, until nothing works. Right? Like capitalism's not going to stop because people are making profit off of it.
Oh yeah.
There's not going to be any meaningful change to making things work better until it affects rich people, and it won't affect them until it's so bad that that we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I think that we're absolutely not going to be able to expect capitalism to sacrifice profit for continued survival necessary. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to expect them to sacrifice profit for avoiding all change. I think there are some changes that fascism is going to institute into capitalism that capitalism will be perfectly fine with. The rich specifically will be perfectly fine with. But I don't know. I don't know whether the American capitalism is ready to become fascist. I don't know.
It always has been. I mean, we've supported every fascist government. Literally, material supported every fascist government. Like, we were.
Where's dirt?
Oh God. Okay. We've supported every. We've proven provably done the most genocide in the last 20, 30 years in the name of the freedom and the American whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, we are the fascists. Yes, the American government is out and out fascist. Like all the leaks that we've gotten from the FBI and the CIA, all that stuff that we've gotten a hold of have proven again and again that yes, the American government is fascist, and the American people fully support it. They don't support it in name because it's pretty easy to.
Well, I mean,
it's easy to when you have a population that is fed nationalist bullshit all the time. It's easy to say no, war is peace.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if not supporting it in name is the distinction between openly supporting it and covertly supporting it. I would absolutely agree with you that, American, that capitalists in the U.S., both, the actual capitalists with capital and the capitalists who aspire to have capital, are tacitly in support of fascism. But I don't know. I think specifically because they're not willing to call it that, I do wonder if that's kind of the difference.
I think that there are
Also, where do eggs and honeycomb go?
I don't
Honeycomb should
know.
probably
I
go in the
feel like
first left.
Really? Oh yeah, it's not food. That's right.
yeah, and
Yeah, right here. Yeah,
eggs.
it's right
I
here.
think I put eggs somewhere. Not here. There's nothing in here.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go figure out where to put honeycomb. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
I don't. Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if. I don't know if I would say that like supporting a name matters, right? Like,
I think that
especially
like
when it's like a bad thing. Like, well,
Mm.
this person doesn't say that they're,
racist.
a yeah, but they're clearly racist. And when you
Yeah.
confront them with that reality, they reject it because they don't think of themselves as racist. The same reason
Yeah.
why they don't consider that a lot of their positions may be, oh
Oh,
God,
here's eggs.
may be supportive of like labor rights,
Yeah.
because that would mess up their view of reality. And it's at that point it's about their view of reality, not
Yeah.
about what's actually real.
Yeah.
I think that there's an element though that's you know, at least for a long time, like the United States government may have been acting in support of fascism and other forms of like dictatorial authoritarianism.
Mhm.
And the United States government may be in effect authoritarian in like a lot of ways, especially in the ways that most people interact with it on
Mhm.
on like a more routine basis, like through the police,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like most people's most common interactions with U.S. governments, like at various levels, is through law enforcement.
Yeah.
And whether that's like, you know, uh, calling the cops because somebody broke into your house, or whether it's because the cops have accosted you or assaulted you because you are a suspect or just looked like somebody that they wanted to assault.
Yeah.
Um, uh, like most people's interaction is with the most authoritarian aspect of government in the United States.
Mm.
Um, uh, but I do think it's important to sort of say that there's a distinction in the sense that like the United States government is like not, it does not operate in all of the same ways that that fascist governments operate in, have operated in the ways that are like common among fascist governments wherever they are. Like it is very true that fascism looks a little bit different wherever it pops up.
Yeah.
Well, because what we expect from fascism is
The Nazis.
authoritarian dictatorship, not that's the distinction between like imperialist core countries and like out and out dictatorships, right? Like
Yeah.
fascism, like imperialism is fascist at its core.
Yeah. I guess.
That
Yeah.
that's the thing,
I would
right? Like
I
it's
would
not.
actually say that it's the other way around. I would say that like fascism is built out of imperialism, and like you can have imperialism without having fascism, because one of the key elements of fascism is like the sort of like the sort of like
No,
false
it's
tradition and like the strongman thing. Um, but like those aren't necessary. My mic is fucking up.
you
Those
can
aren't
have
necessary for.
you can have imperialism but not fascism, but you can't have fascism and not imperialism.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because like I would not call the imperialism of um like colonial Europe fascist. I think that it like lacks elements that, in terms of like a like political definition of fascism, that
Well,
fascism
that's why
lacks.
like calling it fascism is wrong, right? We're not calling out the American government for being fascist. Fascist is like a working label for all these different things, especially the way that it's starting to be expressed specifically. But America has always been an imperial, an imperialist capitalist country,
Yes.
right? Like we may not
Yes.
have necessarily always been a fully fascist, having this super highly nationalist state, but the things that we were doing are are still the goals of all these different things. Like we're not, it's what flavor of exploitation and murder and genocide do you like? So I guess so we should stop saying fascism. We should start saying colonial imperialism. We should start
Yeah.
saying capitalism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Just
that's
because
I.
the term fascism is even that's even like the problem with using that definition is that that's also a thing that's then that's been that's a weapon that liberals use to say like, well, they're fascist.
right.
Why are they fascist? Well, because of all this stuff that they do. No, because they have a strongman leader and they have overly nationalist tendencies. Blah blah
Mhm.
blah.
Yeah.
Like that's not the point at all. That's
Mhm.
the opposite of the point even.
Right, and it's like really important to say that there's like this um like Chomsky talks about it in one of his books. I can't remember which one. There's this like cultural like hegemony that that like in the 90s was like the American imperialism, right? It's like exporting the American culture to the whole world. We want like people everywhere to be wearing Nikes, and like, and that's different than the sort of like fascist imperialism, which is like we want to take over these places and extract their resources and not allow them to have any of the things that our like in group gets.
Yeah.
Like we want to delineate like the good people, the people who are like the correct whiteness and like the correct educated and the correct moneyed, and like we want to delineate those people from everybody else, and that means that like everybody else does not get access to our culture, or doesn't get the same access to our culture. But like the neoliberal model is still imperialist, but it is very much like, and is sometimes very authoritarian, but like, but it is very much about like we want to genocide like cultures, not necessarily by like violently killing off people, which the fascists want to do, but by like, but by this like economic and cultural uh like washing over of all other cultural identifiers, so that there is only one global neoliberal capitalist culture where everybody is wearing Nikes and watching Saved by the Bell.
And they're all part of the same machine. So like
Yes.
differentiating between them is at some point it's useless to try to differentiating between socialism and social democracy and like communism. Like that's a useless debate once we get like the point is that we're all trying to abolish capitalism in all its forms, right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to do we're going for liberatory ideology.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, this is kind of, they understanding all the different things that we would do are not necessarily different parts. It is in some sense a different part of it, yeah, but like it's easier to like call it like this is the social like the sociology that they use. This is the psychology behind why they are doing this. This is the these are the different ways that these pervasive things turn into turn into structural, integral parts of capitalism and of the integral parts of the system that exploits us and that is run by billionaires.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, like, I guess, it seems to me, the argument for saying that America is not yet fascist is that, like, it doesn't look like the forms of fascism that we've seen. But at the same time, that's a surface. I recognize that's kind of a surface level argument. I wonder if it's like, fascism doesn't have to look the same way in each implementation. It can look differently depending on where it's being implemented.
I mean, we saw a difference in fascism between Italy and Germany and Japan.
Yeah.
Adam.
Yes. There is a house we forgot about back here. It doesn't have a door. It's near the lumber mill. It's around back.
Oh yeah, dang it! Okay.
So, if you could take a look at that.
I would also argue that, like, if anything, the American, fascism is the ideal form of fascism. It's very primordial. It's it has no real shape, and you can't really define what it is. It stays in flux all the time, and that's ideal for it. Everything can work behind the scenes. There's not one entity that you can attack because you just have multiple soft powers that have influence around.
Yeah.
And that's the ideal form of fascism is something that can't be attacked and dismantled. If you can attack it and dismantle it, then that's bad for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yep. Yeah, and also, like, we're saying that, like, to the billionaires, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not we have a fascism or something else, as long as they get to, like, maintain levers of power and
their aesthetic. It doesn't matter what the aesthetic of the thing is, as long as it accomplishes what they need it to accomplish and makes them money.
Yeah, I mean, there is, a sort of complication for that in that, like, there are, the people with the capital are not just of, are not just, white, straight, Christian anymore. Like, there is...
That's because they've, like, there's so much... Arguably, there's so much available... Oh, good. There's so much, like, capital available at this point because they want to hoard more and more. They keep adding more into the system so they can have more and more. Like, I don't think there were enough, like, US dollars in print 60 years ago for there to be billionaires. There are now.
Yeah.
There's so many dollars in print and so many like Amazon is a profit scraping model, and it scrapes profit from hundreds of thousands of people and sends it into Jeff Bezos' bank account. Jeff Bezos owns I think he said he owns 16% of Amazon. That means that 16% of that company is enough to make him that kind of profit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a massive structure that does that.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that it needs to have so that, you can say, well, I'm only pulling, 1% of, profit from all these different people. Like, that can't be that bad. It's just a little bit that I'm pulling from them and that I, and I deserve because I made this thing. And that's not, that's not the argument. That's not the point of us saying that, billionaires shouldn't exist, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't. They're trying when you obfuscate it behind it being like this very small percentage of this very big thing. Like, yeah, they've had to make something big enough to scrape those kinds of profits, and they've made it so that there are people that are successful along the way, so they can point to that.
Yeah.
But
and
the end result, you have to look at the end result, right?
Yeah.
And, like, when you take each thing apart, each like little piece, maybe each little piece is kind of not that terrible.
It's also fair to say that, like, Oprah Winfrey, right? Like, one of
the most successful
people
Mm-hmm.
in, who has like become a billionaire like in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How
I
come?
think it's perfectly fair to say that like, yeah, Oprah Winfrey as a billionaire would probably prefer if we did not live in like a white nationalist fascist
Yeah,
state. Um,
that was my point. Is I wonder if that will affect, you know, the, if not the likelihood of the U.S. Becoming openly, like, enthusiastically fascist, like what
right.
form it takes. You know.
But I think there's two sides, right? Because there is the like Italian fascism,
Mm-hmm.
which was very much built on like populist rhetoric
Mm.
and very much involved like there are some members of the like elite, the like moneyed elite,
Mm-hmm.
who were considered outsiders
Yeah.
to they were considered part of the out group. And part
They've
of
made things that are so big that you can't not include anyone, and it
Mm-hmm.
like hurts their
well,
image to not include people too.
but it was like in Italy, like some of those people were like pulled out into the streets and killed.
Mm.
Like some of the elites, some of the like effectively billionaires were like pulled out into the streets, and they were like held up as examples of like outsiders will not steal money. And that's because Italian fascism was like very much rooted in like populism
Yeah.
and like populist rhetoric, like right-wing populism.
Yeah.
But Germany did not have the same thing because while it used a lot of populist rhetoric, it wasn't like it was built on a political party,
Mm.
and it was built on like a strictly like political movement, and not necessarily like the appearance of being like, oh, this is like born from the people.
Yeah.
Like, of course, every political party uses that rhetoric now, and has since, um, like since the late 1800s. Like political parties very much love to say that they're like doing the thing that the people want, as
Mm-hmm.
long as they like exist within a representative democracy. But but yes, like rich German Jews were killed
Yeah.
as a result of Nazis in power.
Mm.
Um, Also, like political elites were killed, like in the like Night of the Long Knives or whatever it is. Um, but but it's yeah, like I think it is fair to say that like yeah, I'm sure individual billionaires have opinions and preferences
Yeah.
on that sort of thing, but like for the most part, like as long as there are not mobs in the street pulling rich people out of their houses or out of their cars and like killing them in the streets, like those rich people are like, well, I will be fine, because
Yeah.
if worse comes to worse, I will buy myself a plane ticket to a
Yeah.
country that doesn't have a white nationalist government.
Yeah,
um
that's the other part of it, is that, like, even if they don't necessarily want to embrace a form of fascism that views them as the enemy because of some aspect of themselves other than their capital, their capital gives them the ability to escape that and go somewhere else, whereas it doesn't give everybody that ability, or not everybody will have that ability. So, oh, good, a bunch of trees grew. I still don't have a fucking axe. Sorry. I keep forgetting to go make myself an axe.
I'm just waiting for cows to grow up
Yeah.
so I can make them fuck.
So, cheery discussion. Uh,
Yeah.
Great for a Minecraft stream.
Minecraft is very cheery, so we have to bring it down
Yeah,
somehow.
absolutely.
Also, I'm loving that I have my shader pack back. It's so nice. I think this whole thing started because I had asked Andrew
Oh yeah,
if
about
his
yeah,
thoughts on the January 6th thing had
yeah.
changed in the past year.
Mm.
And I don't
Um,
remember whether they have or not, but I tried to sort of come up with something coherent to say about the January 6th thing.
Right, right.
Fuck, what do I need to do now?
Because
um,
yeah, no, yeah, because yeah,
Yeah.
because January 6th was dumb and was not even like them storming the Capitol building wasn't even the real like point
Yeah.
of power. That was
Yeah.
like almost like just almost accidental even.
That's exactly what I said. Like, I don't think it's I don't think it's something that we can just, not like think mattered at all, but it definitely didn't matter as much as a lot of people think it did. What the like, even just looking at it from the insular, liberal democracy, American electoralism perspective, the real threat was the attempts in the state capitals to basically like send alternate elector ballots and try and disrupt the election that way. But like,
Yeah, the state, yeah, this like they made that big hullabaloo about like, oh my God, they're not watching the electors
yeah,
and who's checking the vote, and they were the ones, actually the ones that were trying to like coerce
yeah,
them into sending the wrong ballots or changing their votes.
yeah, the riot, quote unquote. Well, nah, I guess riot is not necessarily inaccurate to describe it, because there was like mass violence. I don't know.
They were marching. I'm
Yeah,
fine with calling that a riot as long as it disarms them calling regular ass demonstrations riots and
yeah,
then killing people because of it.
yeah. The like, the riot itself was not the core threat to quote unquote American democracy. The core threat to quote unquote American
Democracy.
democracy was the attempts to undermine the actual election
Elect.
paperwork.
Yep. 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 Which is crazy.
Yeah, it says
Crazy that it
something.
got.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. It's crazy that it got like that close, right? Like it's
Yeah,
crazy that it's down to like a couple people checking paperwork and then being like, "Huh? Do we think that was actually good or bad?"
yeah, and it says something about like the way that this country is constructed, that that's what the big thing was. That
Mm-hmm.
people, arming themselves and storming the Capitol and whatnot was not really, it was the thing that everybody saw happening, and so it was the thing that everybody thought about, but it was not ultimately the biggest threat.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was fancy and it was for show and it was meant to be it was meant to make a point,
Yeah.
and it did. The that one girl died, uh and now they make memes about AOC
Yep.
freaking out because that's all that they know how to do
Yeah.
is belittle and make fun of all these things.
Yeah.
And it's Jesus, it should be telling that, oh God, it should be telling that like, yeah, that's the thing that they were talking about and not their failed attempt to like turn in the wrong paperwork and
Yeah.
fool the teacher.
Yeah. And
And it shows that we need to have a lot more election security. Even they are complaining about even even conservatives are complaining about like the validity of election machines now.
yeah.
They're the ones that were literally trying to abuse that. Like,
Yeah.
sure, fine, take their word for it. Literally take their word for it. Beef it up. Make it a lot harder. Like, assign people a cryptographic key that they're allowed to vote with.
Well, that or just go
so
back
that,
to paper ballots.
well, no, you can like that's one thing that like a blockchain would be useful for, right? Is their cryptographic keys. Each entry on the chain is a cryptographic entry that's locked to a single key. like that would be a useful thing that like cryptography and like a system like that would be good to use for, because then you're guaranteeing that only like that person's key could be entered on the chain and would count as a vote, and it would be visible publicly, but it wouldn't have any identifying information. And if they needed to go, verify a key, they could always, they would know whose key is whose.
Well,
And then you can see, then anyone can go look at the votes. It doesn't have to be behind closed doors. Like it solves a lot of problems if you
but
have like a system like that where you use, the tools that we fucking have at our fingers to fix the election system.
I mean, we may be getting onto a different topic,
Does
but
that mean that we would pay poll workers in Dogecoin?
No. I don't want you to say more words like this, because I will scream and cry. If we get into poll workers are suddenly the richest people in America because we paid them vote coin, and vote coin's value spiked thanks to whatever. Yeah, no, that would be really dumb. I think it's part of it. I think like if our democracy is so shaky that we're gonna have to like return to using pen and paper to write things down, make sure that the right people know it and get a hold of it, then like we got some other problems, and we got some other like basic things that we need to figure out before we are,
well,
before the way that we do the way that we operate those systems has any effect.
I think that, I mean, a couple things there. I mean, first off, like you said something in your explanation of how cryptographics could be applied to voting, in that like if you need to verify a ballot, you could know whose blockchain was whose, and like that's part of that. I mean, that makes it no longer a secret ballot. Like that's one of the problems with it. But
who would know what your key is? Only you would know what your key is.
Yes, but people will write stuff down, and like especially a cryptographic key you can't memorize.
I tweet out who I voted for.
Yes, that's true. But at the
Yeah.
but like tweeting out who you choosing to reveal who you voted for is one thing. People being able to intimidate you into voting for somebody, and like being able to check it by being able to check who you voted for on your ballot, I think that's a different thing.
Well, hang on. That's a non-issue. I'm gonna say that's a non-issue. You can still like intimidate them into voting for someone specifically. Like okay, fine. Then don't publish it. It doesn't matter. Like that's fine then. Then don't make it public record.
Okay.
That's easy.
Okay.
You don't have to make it public record for the mechanism to be there.
Okay. All right.
I would not say that I think that that's an issue, but if that's gonna be an issue, then yeah, fine. Fine.
Okay.
Whatever. I haven't heard the arguments against having a public record of votes that someone can look at, right? Like the final tally. Like the point is not that there are fully de-anonymized voting records put up. The point is that the final tally should be visible, and anonymized final tallies should be visible, so that we can anyone can go through themselves and count the number of votes and verify it.
Yeah, I think what Zach is saying isn't that like Andrew voted
one citizen,
for...
one vote.
Yeah, I think what Zach's saying isn't that like Andrew voted for Bob and Adam voted for Judy and Zach voted for Bob. Like that's not the part that's visible. It's like in X precinct there were 784 votes cast for Bob, and 391 votes cast for Judy.
Yeah, but we already have that information. Like they already do those tallies.
There's already you already have a voter ID.
Yeah.
And they can already come to you and verify what your vote was, and you can verify it like based off your voter ID. Like that's
Oh,
that's
okay.
not anything new. We could do it cryptographically because that would be
Okay.
more secure, in my opinion. Just because, like, that would be a good use of cryptographic technology.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
This is sort of my thing, and this is like something that would be, I don't, maybe it's more difficult than I think that it would be, but just to me, this whole thing proves the like fallibility of the electoral college system.
Yeah.
Right, the electoral college system is like the point of failure. That
Mm.
was like that was where like pressure was put.
Yeah.
It was seen as like the most logical point of failure, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where pressure was applied because like doing the kind of voter fraud to cast fraudulent elector votes for a strategic few states
Mm-hmm.
is like relatively easy
Yeah.
compared to the kind of voter fraud needed to fake a popular vote victory when the margin is like even just a few million votes.
Yeah.
Right? If you're talking about a local election, faking like, that might be like by scale easier because a tight margin would be like a few thousand or a few hundred votes. Um, but like the kind of voter fraud required to, I mean, like this is what they were trying to do in Florida in 2000
Yeah.
was like rig the popular vote by destroying and calling into question individual ballots.
Yeah.
And it required state Supreme Court intervention
Mm.
because it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And
second, why is
so
this
in
over
order
here?
to circumvent the need for a very public state court intervention, you put pressure on the Electoral College, which is not available. And, you can't, it wasn't like, yeah, in
If-
Florida, the way they were trying to do it, they couldn't just like swap electoral ballots
Yeah.
because like they were going about it like too early in the process, right?
Yeah.
And so if you do away with the Electoral College, you do away with the easiest election fraud aspect. There's still, people still get to raise hell about voter fraud being an issue when it's not a significant issue. But that's fine. People have been raising hell about voter fraud as an issue like for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Like prior to the 2000 election. But because like the voter fraud complaint is a response to the Voting Rights Act.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But remove the Electoral College. To me, that seems like the simplest solution.
Yeah.
To sort of like remove this kind of threat. And also like there are so many people on all shades of the political spectrum who think that the Electoral College, even if they think it's like a necessary evil,
Yeah.
they think it's bad.
Yeah.
They might be like, well, the popular vote would just, take too long or what. I don't know, whatever. It's to hear any good argument in favor of it. But
the thing is like rule of the mob, and it's like,
Yeah.
and that like calls us back to like elementary school. Sorry, I was homeschooled. It calls me back to elementary school, and like some like thing about like Rome and how like Roman democracy was like good or important or something, even though now I know that it's just like basically like fascist
It's seen as the classical democracy, but like
dog whistle, that's the word.
yeah. It's seen as classical democracy, but you could only vote if you like were a landowner and were a specific type of person, and yeah,
you did not have the brand of a slave on your body,
yeah,
or whatever bullshit they fucking came up with. Shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm partial to like pen and paper voting,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because I'm a grumpy old grandpa. And,
Yeah.
Grandpa's
and,
going
like,
on about pen and paper voting again.
yeah.
And I mean, yeah, like
Back in my day, they gave you a, a, a
Gave you
fucking
the dots
crushed
to fill in.
yeah,
crushed tip Sharpie and a fucking
yeah.
Scantron, and
Although
and like
I will tell you
I wasn't
this.
sure if it was an English test or a.
I will tell you
Oh.
this. There is one advantage to pen and paper voting that electronic voting will never have, and that's being able to write "fuck you" on the ballot.
That is very true.
Again, yeah. Give me the Scantron ballot so that I can fill the dots in to say "fuck you" instead
Yeah,
of voting.
yeah. And in the UK, like if you do that, they actually all the candidates actually have to stand around and look at your ballot to verify that it's been spoiled, or that you haven't, expressed more of a preference. So if you
Right.
if you write "fuck you" next to like 3 of the candidates, but next to one you don't write anything, that could technically count as a preference, and that one person will argue that. And so they all have to sit there and look at your ballot, and so they read whatever you write.
You know what? There's something to be said for the parliamentary procedure that they have in the UK. All in the Houses of Parliament, it's really shitty in the US how like
Yeah.
all of our Congress people like do their shit. It comes off as really like whiny and prissy.
Yeah.
And in the UK, like Parliament seems much more fun. That might be just because of who is in there.
They just yell at each other.
The Prime Minister's questions thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I love watching that.
I mean,
It's great.
Yeah, like genuinely, if I entertain daydreams about becoming president of the United States, and if I were to do that, I would absolutely try and institute something like that where I just sit in Congress and let them yell at me, like even just for fun, just because it would be fun.
Yeah.
They're all like yelling at you, and you're just like laughing.
Yeah.
In your little chair.
Yeah.
And like, and the media is just like, we don't get it. This fucking weirdo.
We don't understand.
It's a joke
but,
whenever he gets yelled at. And
Yeah.
like, you become like the most endearing president, and like you get.
That's what I would like.
Like you don't even run for a third term, but like you're elected for a third
Okay,
term anyways.
that unfortunately cannot happen, but
it's one of those like
one of those
things that you hear about happening in like South America.
Yeah.
Where like the soccer star becomes the
or
fucking. I was just listening to the Behind the Bastards Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
From this year. Where he's talking about the president of Uruguay.
Mm-hmm.
Who is
that
like
that kid that was a socialist that got elected, or?
No, he was. I don't know if he was explicitly a socialist. He was very adjacent to anarchist. He was part of a sort of like pan-left terrorist organization.
Oh, okay.
In like the 50s and 60s, and did like 14 or 15 years in like a black site prison.
Huh.
And he very likely killed people as part of this like terrorist organization. And
it's a little based.
Yeah.
And then when he got out of prison, because there was a like moderate left president who was elected after the military had been in charge for a long time, and the moderate left president granted amnesty, and pardoned all of the members of the terrorist organization that had been arrested. The terrorist organization, by the way, had like a like well over 60% like approval rating or whatever. I don't know what you would call it. In like the 70s in Gallup, they had like 70% like of the people surveyed.
Yeah, they were winning the opinion
poll.
poll.
We liked them.
Yeah.
They were winning the popularity contest. Yeah. And anyways, so the moderate president was like, okay, we're gonna give pardons to and set free all of these these political prisoners, most of which are members of this terrorist organization,
Mm-hmm.
and then to sort of like give the military something because like it was all about like moving forward and like trying to heal wounds and stuff. They were not going to press charges on the people in the military for like all of the atrocities and shit.
Right.
And I guess that's changing a little bit now. Like
Yeah.
people are starting to press charges against people who are still alive, who were
Yeah.
like commanders in the military and stuff. Anyways, this guy becomes like minister of agriculture in Uruguay after he gets out of prison. That's in like 2007 or something like that. And just like is fucking awesome. And I guess one of the things that he found out about is there's this like traditional dish
Mm-hmm.
that usually uses like one kind of cut of beef, but farmers and like cattle ranchers weren't making enough money to be able to afford that cut of beef,
Oh.
and they were using like low quality like neck cuts
Uh-huh.
to make this traditional dish. And like he just went on this tirade and like went on this whole campaign basically saying like our traditional food, like the people who grow the ingredients
Yeah.
and who like raise the cattle to make our traditional food cannot afford to eat it the way it is intended to be
Yeah.
eaten. And that is an atrocity. That is like a crime against our people. And like just like implemented all of these things to make like the like meat in general, food in general, but like specifically that cut of meat affordable for those people to eat. And like and that involved making sure those people got paid more money,
Yeah.
and also like policies that brought down through subsidies and other sorts of things that brought down the cost of that meat. And he was just like widely popular, and he ran for president and he won.
Huh.
And I guess he's like given speeches at the UN where he talks about like how capitalism needs to end and we need to have a world without borders. And the guy's like super fucking rad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's you as president.
I sure hope so. I mean, you know, I know that like, you know, there's enough like leftist infighting that not everybody would like me, but I at least hope that most of the people who I kind of agree with would kind of agree with me. You know, I think that's the best I can hope for.
I mean, there's going to be a certain subset of leftists who like, even if they agree
Would never admit it.
with all of the
Yeah.
policies that you propose,
Yeah.
they would just think that you're a fucking sellout because you ran for office.
Oh yeah.
And I'm one of them.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
those
fuck
people
you,
are fucking
but-
stupid.
Yeah. I yeah, like and I understand that. Like I do not like and I think that's one of the things that would make me very different from a lot of other pretty much every other American politician is like I think that voting is a tool, and if the working class can use that tool to improve their lives, then they should, if they so choose. But again, if they so choose, I am not going to say, you know, if you're not voting, you know, you're a bad person. I would never say anything like that because I know it's a personal choice. Not everybody believes that voting is like effective enough to bother with, and I can understand that view. So
A lot of these like liberalized talking points as well are very easy to like think about for 10 seconds and go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that is kind of bullshit, isn't it?
yeah,
Which
and
is, you know, kind of sad, but
Mm.
like it's a testament to, you know, how it's a testament to why leftism is so popular, because it makes sense. It has like
Yeah.
good conclusions, and we understand that they're good conclusions.
yeah,
We don't have to like sit down and do like a seminar on why does our great leader say that we need to why does our great leader say that
why
we
does
need
our great
to,
leader
you know,
say we need to fuck?
yeah, why does he say we need to fuck all the time? I'm not into that shit.
To make
Well,
more,
now you don't have to
to
be.
make
Yeah.
more beautiful anarchy babies.
Yeah.
Anarchy babies.
Anarchy babies.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna be real with
Yeah.
you, 47th Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. This will not improve Japan's declining birth rate.
Somebody that reminds me, somebody on Twitter today,
Mm-hmm.
some like lefty YouTuber person, I think,
Mm-hmm.
posted something about like all anarchists are like the most attractive or the hottest or something like that. And my new Twitter handle is Snack Anarchist. And so I just posted a GIF from The Good Place of what's her name? Whoever the woman who's the star in that. A GIF of her saying, "It's not a joke. I'm a legit snack." And I just wanted to say that in reference to the beautiful anarchy
Thank you, Adam.
babies.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It was the perfect moment. It was like, today's my first day on Twitter with this handle, and like, here's the perfect opportunity to introduce myself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think like, you know, and I will admit this, like I do have a bias against like cryptocurrency and blockchain and stuff. Like and I'll admit that.
That's fine. Everyone does.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I do think that it's another thing that's like it's like a cool thing that come up with by people that were, you know, weird libertarians.
Yeah.
And those are the people that maintain it, and it's
Yeah.
like it's a good thing, but it's not like you know, from a purely technological perspective, Bitcoin is amazing. From a social perspective, Bitcoin is, you know, really fucking shitty.
Yeah.
And that sucked for it, but you know, it's whatever.
Yeah, and so like that plus the fact that like just I know that you can't hack a piece of paper, you know, makes me favor the
You can just put one in there and replace it. Like,
that's true, but you have to get to it. Let's say you can't hack it remotely. You have to be there.
you can't hack cryptographic keys remotely. Like you can't hack a cryptographic key.
Yeah, you know,
like at this point it would take, you know, the Google supercomputers, you know, 50 years to generate one of those keys.
Yeah, I respect that you have an interest in it and you believe it's a good thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is certainly easier for me to understand you know, regular pen and paper voting and this sort of thing, and so that's what I prefer. But, you know, that's why my thinking is the way it is.
Yeah, I think there is
I need to put this dirt away. That's what I need to do.
I think that the point that we get at for the most part is that humans in the process are not to be trusted, because what do you get? You know, how do you stop? How do you the thing that was attacked in the supply chain was the the
electoral college, you mean, not the supply chain.
Yeah, well, the thing that was attacked in the
January 6th, like, overturn attempt, basically.
Yeah, and in all of this, the thing that's attacked is the people that are doing it.
Yeah.
They did not try to forge documents and hack into the voting machines. They tried to just recruit people to turn in fake stuff.
Yeah. And
that's the weak point is always, you know, human beings in that thing. If there's a way to make a system that will let us secure our vote, because right now, you know, even if we wanted to, you know, use voting, the working class wanted to use voting to gain power or maintain power, any sort of power, in this system, then it would have to actually work for us to do so.
Yeah, right, like it would have to basically function.
Yeah, right now it doesn't even basically function. I think most people do not trust voting because we know how insecure voting machines are.
Yeah.
Like there is at the core of, even American democracy, that they all the time it's like, oh
Mhm.
my God, we have to save the democracy.
Yeah.
It never actually worked.
Yeah. Um,
So you have to fix that, and you have to make it so that it actually it functions before you can take the next step and then go, okay, cool, all right, so it's working. So now we get to do the part where we all vote, and then that just works, right?
hmm. Well, you'd hope, but no. It turns out no.
I think
Yeah.
the question is also like access to, and like whether you're using paper or like
Yeah.
blockchain ID, or anything, like whatever you're using, like it's a question of like,
Can the
or
people who
to
need
me
to
the
use
sort of
it?
tantamount question is like, if what we want, if like the system that we want to have is a system that relies on people being able to like securely vote, then like when we say people, we need to mean like everybody.
Yeah.
And like,
Can the people who
and I'm
need
not
to
saying
use
that
it
either of
actually
you
use it?
don't mean that, but like as it stands right now, the the barrier to something like paper, to paper voting, is like the distribution
Yeah.
of all of that paper and then the return of it to
Yeah.
centralized counting facilities.
Yeah.
And the barrier to something like a crypto key and blockchain is people's ability to like reliably access the internet.
Yeah.
I would still say
Um,
that you would have massive voting centers that you go to, and so
Fuck. I need a shovel.
there's the barriers that there is probably still having a national holiday where we all go to,
Yeah.
where we all go and hang out and vote, once a year or
right.
Yeah.
twice a
So
year or whatever.
I'm imagining something like that where like the crypto key is like, you know, there is an app
Yeah.
available for phones, and you get mailed your voter ID card that has a little QR code or whatever on it, and that QR code allows you to activate your key. And so that's also the kind of thing, like if you lose your voter ID card, or if your phone gets stolen or
Yeah.
whatever, you can go to the voter's office, or your supervisor of elections office, and say, I need a new voter ID card. And
It
then
Yeah.
you
should work.
provide,
It should work
and you
like your
get a
social
new
security
key.
card. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Um,
I think
and
it's I
This
think
isn't
that
right.
we should be skilling people up,
This is right.
not
This way.
trying to dumb things down.
yeah.
And I think we should be insisting that people are smart and that they can do this, because a lot of it might be, my grandfather learned how to work on computers, and he was in accounting for 50 years. So, he was always of the mindset that like, hey, yeah, I can do this. This is something I am fully capable of doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's good and healthy. And we should want more of that from people, because they are capable. Technology is amazing. It does amazing things. If you understand it better, you'll be a better citizen.
Yeah. And also if somebody like, for whatever variety of reasons, is like not comfortable with like a smartphone voting app, there's like gotta be an alternative method for them, right?
Yeah.
And that means like bringing their little voter card with that QR code on the background, or on the back of it, to the voting center, and then they get to the voting machine and they scan that QR code and it goes, here's your ballot. And if you're doing it like that, and see, Andrew, to me, this is the benefit of like the electronic voting over the paper voting, is like you get away from people having to be in the right voting
Location.
in the right precinct, in the right state. Like, if you have central voting locations and it's a national voting day, I can be traveling in Washington State, and I can scan my little QR code because it's like a national thing, and it brings up a Texas ballot for me.
Yep, you can do it
And
on your
then
app from anywhere.
you can do it on your app from anywhere, and like as long as it is secure, right? It can't be hacked in transit, which like Signal is pretty good for that. Like there might be a better thing out there. I'm not like a digital security expert or anything like that, but like, you know, like the Signal protocol right now is like in terms of consumer level, like
Signal
pretty fucking
uses
good.
standard 2096-bit encryption. Like encrypting messages is the most you can save all of your files on your computer in a zip file. You can use a free program to encrypt it using a key
Mm-hmm.
that you can get from a free program, and you can upload it to Google Drive, and nobody at Google will ever know any of those files that are on there. And you can back up all of your home files to Google Drive no matter what's on there. You could put every illegal thing, like state terrorists could put anything they want to on Google Drive as long as it's encrypted. They'll never know that it's on there. Like it doesn't matter what that they can see all the files, or that the NSA requires them to be compliant to view all those files. You can send emails, through insecure. You can send stuff through insecure email clients, and nobody will be able to see that stuff. Like encryption is should be much more widely used than it is. The question with like Signal is that when you make it this kind of plug and play thing, is that then, well, that's going to obviously be the thing that encryption is viewed as this dangerous thing. Encryption is viewed as this thing that is hurting us because we can't see. What if you're doing this terrible bad thing? Well, most of the time people aren't doing terrible bad things. In very rare cases are we, in almost no cases that I'm aware of has us being able to see all of the messages from this particular messaging service stops something terrible from happening. For the most part, what happens is something else is suspicious,
and then they look into the messages,
and then they look into that because they have to have evidence. But you could but you could also just make a system where you don't have to like where you have different layers of these things to respond to it, and you don't have to like go in and read someone's messages with a federal court order that allows you to read their messages. Like there's lots of other things that you can do to suss out these things and to eliminate these issues without making people feel like they can't do or say anything online because it's going to be read, because there's going to be somebody reviewing it.
And that's like, this is like the thing where it's like with the voting stuff, it's like if it is, there's 2 points of danger if you're talking about an electronic voting system, right? One is like intercepting transmission, right? However the votes get sent, and this is like true of paper and electronic, right? Is like however the votes are transferred from one location to another, making sure that they are not compromised at that stage. And oh no, it's getting dark and I am not near a bed.
Me either.
The second one is like at the point of the vote being cast. Where it's like in an electronic sense, this would be like the device. Either the voting machine gets like rigged in some way. Or the like your cell phone that you've got the voting app on gets taken from you. And in terms of the electronic stuff, you just, if everybody has a secure, unique key, whether it's that QR code printed on your voter ID, or like a like crypto key that's like on your phone,
Theoretically, you just have a USB device that has a passcode to it that you would use to verify your key. You would not have to remember it.
Yeah, I mean, it can even be the kind of thing where it's like you get up to that voting machine, and if you don't have the QR code to scan, though I guess if you've got an app on your phone, it could display a QR code that could be scanned. But like, basically you get up to the voting device, and you're like, okay, I want to vote, and then it's like, okay, cool, let me see your QR code. You scan your QR code, and then your phone shows. Your phone, like, you either get like emailed or texted a like a one-time use code. Like my bank does this every single time I log in on my computer. It's like I type in my password, and then it's like, cool, we sent you like an 8-digit PIN.
Yeah, two-factor authentication.
Yeah. And so then it just does that. It like texts you or emails you or whatever you've picked as your preference. And
It would be a physical key, like a USB. It would have a passcode on it.
well, I'm just trying to
if
think
you
of
lost it,
like,
then that would be it. Like you would have to have it before you go in to vote. But that would be, you can't. The point is that nobody knows what that code is, which is why it's on that thing.
Yeah.
And there's not a way, you can't make it secure without making it so that nobody else can access that code.
yeah, they're not accessing your like crypto key though. They're like they're just sending you like a one-time confirmation.
It would be on dedicated hardware that would have a hardware like pin code that you put it, and you put that pin in, and then that device would talk to whatever voting machine, and then it would tell it what your key is. Then it would be, all right, cool, for this, and then it would generate a public key based off of that. There's it's a
yeah, I mean, like,
hang on,
like yeah, and like in terms of transfer, like we know that like
elliptic curve mathematics,
that like secure transfer is entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's especially if the government is like investing the resources to make the secure transfer technology. Like,
yeah, well,
like, yeah,
the transfer itself is not a problem, because I mean, as long as like the machines record these things, it doesn't matter if they're like you can, like, there's lots of technology for like verifying that the packets that you send are received and are subject on the other side. So yeah, so more likely than not, like, yeah, it would be just be encrypted all the way. That stuff be encrypted and then sent to be subject as it's received. You don't have to worry about your little hardware device being, having your stuff changed on it, because all it does is hold the key. It holds the key. You could, if you got onto it and you changed the key on it, then maybe that would be an issue. But you could go and say, well, hey, look, here's my thing. Check it, see if my key is. Well, my vote isn't in there, because you can look at the records and see, and see that your vote was not done right. If there's a record for it, if you want there to be like a public key record for it.
Yeah.
So elliptic curve mathematics, basically there's like a public and a private. It calculates like 2 points on this curve, and I guess 3 points on the curve, because of the nature of that curve, those, like, whatever line it is that intersects those 3 points, will, like, there's like a X amount of chance that those will never ever be the same numbers. So you can, but they're all related to each other with a mathematical equation. So as long as you know what the public key is, you can relate it to your private key, and then you have this, the third key to verify it. So you're encrypting, you're using these unique identifiers that are completely anonymous. You're encrypting, all this data would be transmitted in an encrypted fashion to some central, to some, not even to some central location. If it was done, there's a lot more to go into about how those records could be kept, but as long as they're going somewhere and they're getting there securely, then how they're kept does not matter as much.
I think, like, I think I still, I prefer the certainty of the paper ballot, but like I don't necessarily.
What if
I
the paper ballot
always,
is burned?
I know. It's
I
just
always, here's my thing about the paper ballot. Just really quick. Sorry, I don't entirely mean to cut you
it's
off.
okay.
But,
It's all right.
to me, I always felt like when I put the paper ballot in the Scantron machine and then I don't get it back, I always feel like, how do I know?
Hmm.
Like my record is gone,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
and
And
like, and what I want is my record,
yeah.
and like, and I always felt like, well, can I make a photocopy of it? And it's like, some people don't want there to be any record of how they voted. They want it to be very private. They don't want it to be traced back to them. Um, and like, that's fine and that's cool. And like, I'm not trying to tell anybody that they have to have things be traced back to them. But like, the idea of secure electronic voting, the idea that like I can get a printout or the option to save a password locked PDF onto my phone, or whatever dumb
So
idea
that's
anybody wants to come up with, is like where I can then be like, you know, I have this definitive record of how my votes were recorded on my end of the system, and if there are any questions and anybody comes to me and asks for verification purposes or whatever might need to happen, like here's my definitive record, right?
Yeah.
But with paper ballots, I don't get that.
Yeah.
that's the thing with cryptographic keys is they're one direction. Like you can always confirm what is in the record, but nobody else can tell which record is yours. I'm sure that there's social engineering that could break that,
Yeah.
because it basically relies on them not putting together like a pattern of all these, because there's enough data points in there. If you just released who you voted for every year, someone could certainly tell, which entries are yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, to kind of hopefully bring this like conversation to a conclusion, I prefer paper ballots in part because of their simplicity, in part because they're easy to understand, in my opinion. But at the same time, like, I my ideal system of government is a direct democratic system, and like you can't really effectively do that with like just paper balloting. Like, so we would have to figure out either a system of a multi-tiered system of like councils or whatever, or like voting online from a personal device would have to become secure enough to be viable, and crypto might be the way to go with that. I don't know.
Yeah, or having lots and lots of like quote unquote central voting locations, right?
Yeah.
Like public polling places that are like spread out very equitably, easy to access.
You make it more, if you made it so that you could do it from your phone and you could submit it to a blockchain,
Yeah.
then that would be the best way to do it, because then you don't have to worry about people getting to a voting location. You don't have to worry about whether these locations have enough pens and papers or anything. Like you can have a very minimal amount of machines that would need to be there, and at bare minimum an amount of internet connectivity would need to be in place for a location, which is almost universal at this point, so it's much less
I mean,
of a
internet
requirement.
connectivity is not very universal, even in the U.S.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be like high speed to have many votes going to a database all at once. It has to be, very small packets that are going out. So this is like it's best case scenario for like requiring internet connectivity, right? Like, sure, they could also make it so that all the machines, can go back to a central location and have their, have the votes ripped out of them and uploaded.
Right. I
But
just
it's
mean
also-
I just mean that like in order to implement like reliable reliable data service, like even like the like AT&T Edge service or whatever the like super low 2G is, like is not. There are a lot of places where people live that have very, very low internet connectivity, like extremely low. Like there's a like gas station that has internet because it's the one place in the community that has a credit card machine. And
Well, is the voting location at the gas station?
no, I
'Cause
mean these are places that probably use paper ballots still.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is like you know, kids are doing like homework by like their parents driving them to the gas station, and they sit in the gas station parking lot like
Or in the
using
Starbucks
the
or
super
whatever.
fucking slow Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And like so like I'm not saying that this makes the idea like
Totally
untenable,
unworkable.
period, end of story,
Yeah.
but it's like
But we
the
would need.
groundwork needs to be laid to make that idea accessible.
Yeah,
The
we would
groundwork
need
of, like,
to
internet access,
we would need to have like a serious expansion of broadband, like even
which is
even in this country, which is
which is in the
possible.
Build Back Better bill that
Exactly.
Joe Manchin won't vote
That
for.
Joe Manchin won't fucking vote for.
But I'm not necessarily bringing this up to say like, Zach, your idea is dumb and doesn't work. I'm just saying that like, it's that question of like, you know, it's sort of a chicken or egg thing, right? We need politicians who care about people having access to communications technologies in order to like implement a modern secure voting system.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, can we fucking get those politicians
Without having a modern
having
secure
a
voting system.
that allows people to participate easily?
Right. Yeah. No. 100%. Like, there's other things that need to be fixed before we worry about. Yeah. The whole point is that, like, how are we gonna trust democracy if we don't have a secure democratic system? How are we gonna have a secure democratic system if we can't even fucking put reliable broadband in so that kids can get modern schooling? How are we gonna have modern how are we gonna have modern broadband if we don't have politicians that care and want to actually improve our lives?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Chickens, and all of the politicians are fucking chickens.
yeah.
Yeah, there are no eggs.
There are no eggs.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I've done the research and I have discovered eggs are a lie.
The eggs
For a long time, I thought it was the cake that was the lie. But the cake is the lie because the egg is the lie. No,
Oh shit! It's 11:07.
no good Portal references for y'all.
It's
Okay.
no, that's good. I applaud that. That was good.
We applaud your references, Adam. We appreciate them.
But yes, it is 11:07, so it's an hour later than the official stream is supposed to end. So like if anybody's going to leave now or had left at 10, that's fair. We hope you enjoyed and have a good evening. But we're probably going to do our usual thing and go until midnight at least, or something like that. So
This one, we've done a lot more politics on this one than
Yeah.
we've done in a while. So
and it was good. It was nice. I liked it.
yeah, I like that we disagree with each other sometimes.
Yeah.
It makes for an interesting stream.
Yeah.
Conversation, yeah. I think the original point also that we kind of blazed past was that is anything going to change in time? And the answer we're the answer in my mind that all of this stuff kind of leads to is no, it's not. Like, because all this stuff, like the way that it's worked, the way that it is kind of built specifically to make sure that nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah. Right now, it's generating lots of profits for lots of people, and voting is clearly like a non-important part of. Hey, Andrew.
Oh, I see what.
Can I ask what you're putting down there?
Dirt?
Will you put those? Will you put those? Are you not going to put slabs back there so that you can walk up
No,
the dirt?
because I think, I mean, we could make
There's
this.
slabs on the other side of it.
Yeah, we could make this a crossroads, but I mean, I rather like having it just be a single direction road. But I guess we could make it a crossroads.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just gonna try it and see how it looked, and then let's see. All right, let's flatten this then to make sure that it's actually a road.
I like the way you looked around to see if I was there.
Yeah, like I was like, "Oh, you're in my fucking chat." Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. No, I am simply watch stream.
Okay. I was like, okay. So, okay. I am not used to that. I'm not used to A, I'm not used to people actually watching my fucking stream, and B, I'm not used to talking with a viewer at the same time as they're watching me. So, okay. Anyway, shit. No, I don't like that actually. Let's get rid of this and then move these back one so that now this is, we're going to leave that like that. We're going to get rid of these and then put these here so that it's nice and square. Yes, this is good. Okay,
Yes. Make it square.
make it square. And my mouse is now flashing red, which means it's low on battery. That's nice.
Oh yeah, mine's been doing that for like a week.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't have any batteries, so once it dies, it's like,
That's it for a while.
yeah, it's like, well, okay, I guess I'm not using my desktop for a week.
It's not rechargeable?
The batteries in it currently are not rechargeable now.
Ah, okay.
And I keep putting off getting batteries because I want to get rechargeable batteries.
Yeah.
Because it's dumb to continue buying batteries. And then I forget when I'm at the store, and
Yeah.
then I get home and I'm like, damn, I was going to get rechargeable batteries. And then I think about ordering them on Amazon. And then I think about how I'm trying to not order stuff
Not
on
order
Amazon.
stuff on Amazon, yeah.
And then I forget and don't do it at the store. And so I actually might order them from B&H.
I think not to totally just massively change the subject on y'all.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think I hear a lot of times people talk about like why people that grew up without a lot of money like aren't like totally in, you know, total like they aren't rich assholes. They and there's a lot of like moralizing that's done around like why, you know, why people that grew up poorer, you know, maybe share their money more or are more into, you know, supporting other people around them. Like there's, you know, people are like, oh man, if I made money, I would just like make sure everybody in my neighborhood had electricity and internet, you know? And I think that I don't think that there's like moralizing that needs to be done around it, right? It's not like we're better people. It's not like that we were made better people by these things.
Yeah.
It's we were like people that are that rich, that you know that want to that people that are that rich, people that are, you know, grind set bullshit and like make a lot of money, and that's just what they do, and they're, you know, they call themselves entrepreneurs and all that stuff. That's the way they think. They're looking to exploit people.
Yeah.
And they do so. That's why they're rich, because the system wants more exploiters. The system doesn't want less exploiters. The system, there's not an upper limit for how many exploiters there can be, right?
Yeah, they don't get rewarded for like not, you know, doing frivolous things with their wealth, so they do frivolous things with their wealth because they get rewarded for that.
Well, they wanted to be able to do frivolous things with their wealth. They want to be able to have, you know,
they don't
whatever kind of sound system for their outdoor kitchen that they want to have.
Yeah, they don't help their neighbors because they don't get rewarded for helping their neighbors by the system that is important to them. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's also like there's also an element too where it's like people who grow up with money, even just like comfortable money, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are, as they grow up, they are surrounded by other people who have comfortable money.
Yeah.
And the idea of like, my neighbors need my help is not an idea that they grow up with.
Yeah.
And so it's not an idea that like becomes internalized in such a way where when they like strike it big for the first time, the first thing they think about is like all of the people who need their help.
Yeah.
Or all of the people who might need their help, right?
Yeah.
Because they're thinking like, they might be like, and this happens especially with like celebrities, right? Musicians and actors and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where like they have a pretty comfortable childhood. They have some opportunities afforded to them. They take those opportunities. They make it big. They make a lot of money, and they like pay off their parents' house.
Yeah.
Right? And like they help their family, but their first impulse isn't to be like, man, you know, all of the people that I grew up with were like struggling in one way or another. And so like when I make money, I want to help people who are struggling. When I don't need to, when I'm not struggling anymore, I want to help more people not struggle. Like that's just not the thing that occurs to them because they're not used to seeing, they're not used to having to think about the people in their in-group struggling.
Yeah.
With basic shit like paying their mortgage or whatever, or rent. You know, and that's something that like, that's like certainly an element of it. And that's not necessarily like a moralizing thing. Like, I think the immoral thing is like not recognizing that there are people with experiences that are different from your own. Or maybe not immoral, but like refusing to recognize that there are people with experiences that are different than your own, and that those people might need help. And they might quote unquote legitimately need help. Like, it's not that they've just made bad choices or whatever. I would say that's the immoral thing. But it is just sort of like a natural, you're not exposed to it, and then by the time you are faced with that, it is in direct opposition. You are faced with it in a way that's in direct opposition to the things that you believe that are yours because you've earned them, because you've been sort of taught through your whole life that like if you work hard you get to be the boss and decide how much money other people make, and like, you know, that is exploiting people. And some people, like one Mr. Jeffrey Bezos, probably likes the fact that he is exploiting people and is probably conscious of the fact that he's exploiting people. And other people, you know, sort of like smaller entrepreneurs or whatever, are like maybe not necessarily thinking of it as exploiting people. They're just thinking of it as like, I worked my ass off, so like now I get to decide, like now I get rewarded for working my ass off, and I get to decide like, what to do with the leftover money because it's fucking my money.
The shoe is on the other foot now, asshole.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, I don't know, I don't really feel personally like moralizing. I'm very not interested in like whether or not somebody knows or wants to exploit other people. That's probably like a little bit like reductive and like overly materialist of me. Like, I don't fucking care what Jeff Bezos thinks he's doing, you know, and whether or not he like truly in his heart like cares about his employees and thinks that he's doing them right by like paying them $15 an hour.
I'm sorry. Doing right by them. Important distinction.
What did I say?
Doing them right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean his ex-wife was his employee, so
Uh-huh.
yeah. But yeah. Like I don't really care. I don't really care what Jeff Bezos thinks about
About what he's doing.
he's doing, about what his relationship to his employees are. I don't really like. I don't know anybody, multiple people that I have known who have run businesses of various sizes, and like I can speak from like my time in a management position, in a few management positions, that like all of the systems and all of the incentives exist for you to treat people like utter fucking trash.
Yeah.
And treat people as disposable. And like Jeff Bezos does not have to have an opinion on that in order for like any company that he starts to or like, maybe I should say it this way. If Jeff Bezos has no opinion on the way his employees are treated, then they get treated like trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos looks at the performance metrics, not the individual ways that they teach and tell the people working those lines how to work those lines.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, my point is that like Jeff Bezos has to fight against the system if he wants to treat his employees well.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really matter whether or not he wants to, or it doesn't matter if he wants to treat them poorly, or if it's just a byproduct of the system that they're treated poorly. Like the effect is kind of the same.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to treat his employees well, he would not be a billionaire because his company would not be profitable enough to allow him to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Because he would be spending too much of his company's capital on treating his employees well.
Yeah.
So I don't care if he wants to be an asshole boss, or if he doesn't care what kind of boss he is. Like the effect is the same.
Or if he even thinks that he's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might think he's a great boss because he's like, oh, it's probably so nice for them to work for a company that is paying them more than minimum wage, ignoring the fact that like
everything else about the job.
Jeff Bezos' opinion of himself does not matter to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
His perception of the world is unimportant because it does not matter.
Yeah.
He's already justified it. That's why it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, what am I doing?
Whatever someone can think to justify the massive system in place that scrapes profit out of billions of people's labor, is probably wrong and probably has some bad opinions about whether or not he's justified.
Yeah. And there's also like lots of documentation to say that he is in fact a complete fucking asshole.
Yes.
And
Oh yeah. Never mind his divorce that he just did.
Yeah. Did. I think it was like a couple years ago now, but 2020 has been going on for like 2 years at this point. So.
Yeah, I think it was
2020
it's been
2020 for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think it was like the good news in 2020. It was
Yeah.
like, oh wow,
Well-
when Jeff Bezos and his wife are stuck at home together, she can't fucking stand him.
Now, remember there was the Ever Given, right? That was also good news.
What was that? I don't know.
The Suez Canal getting blocked. That was fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I might have said something about this in the IWW Discord. Is I remember reading an article like years ago about like how large container ships were getting.
Yeah.
To like keep up with like all of the transportation shit that needed to get transported everywhere. But like there was no money there was no money, like public or private, in widening canals,
Yeah.
and it was only a matter of time before a ship
Got stuck. Yeah.
like went like 3 degrees off course and got stuck in a canal.
Yeah. I think I remember you talking about this actually, because I certainly remember hearing it.
Yeah, and I remember reading that and thinking like,
Okay.
that's interesting, and then like, and then like not fucking thinking about it again until the Ever Given thing happened, and
Yeah.
just being like, oh yeah, I guess we never widened any canals, huh?
No.
Yeah. Same thing
Never
with
did,
bees. I remember reading articles like 15 years ago about how like declining bee populations were going to be a huge problem. And like, here we are, declining bee populations are a huge problem.
Who could have guessed or documented this thoroughly?
So basically what we should learn from that is that, like, if you want good policy, read popular science.
Yeah.
Documentation does not always translate to action.
Yeah.
Is the real lesson here.
Yeah.
And that as much as we like to believe that as long as you send all the emails and you do all the paperwork, that something will happen, doing work for a business will teach you directly that that is not, in fact, how it works.
Yep.
Let me just say, as the person who ignores emails until the last possible minute, that is correct.
Yeah. Okay. Zach, is your path style this sort of like make some blocks padded down and then make others not padded down? Or is
My
that
path
add-on?
style? Yes. I leave grass in the path because it makes it look more natural. I think you've gone and fixed it before, and I've probably gone back and then like picked blocks up and made non-matching blocks in there.
Okay, because I'm sort of doing that again with like the tree farm, but like this is definitely a more natural
leave
area.
The tree farm looking all overgrown, please.
This is definitely a more natural area. So if you
Yeah.
come back and like change that later, that's fine. But I'm just like, I'm making it so that like you don't have to jump to get along the paths, because that bothers me. I think, and I'm using the oak slabs for that because I think it makes it looks a lot more natural. So, if you want to like, I think like in the actual like city proper, it's nice to have like properly, flatted down paths. But out here in the tree farm, it totally makes sense to have them more natural.
I like having a mix of blocks in the path. It just makes it look more interesting to me.
Okay.
Like having it flattened so that you don't have to jump is like, I'm in favor of that.
Yeah, especially if we're doing like wooden, like dirt paths. I think it looks best if it's just random, unless you want to go and do like gravel and andesite and some cobble and some like mossy cobble.
Yeah.
Then I think, yeah, sure, let's make it like a path. But if it's just dirt, like we're already like doing just a dirt path is already, giving it up so much.
Okay.
That it's like, yeah, just kind of run over with the shovel, leave the grass there, leave the other plants there.
Yeah. And mixing in like some gravel and stuff to the dirt paths.
I do
or
like
not gravel, but like the coarse dirt
Yeah.
that you can make by mixing gravel and dirt. Like it just breaks it up visually and makes it like, I don't know. It just makes it more interesting to look at while you're walking along.
Yeah. Well, the thing with like decorating and making it look natural is that you're trying to randomize. You're trying to simulate randomness, right? The randomness of world generation, instead of doing, nice square corners and straight lines. Like you're simulating randomness by adding an amount of, by adding something that you can tell where you can tell where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
But you're not. But you're not like making big.
Fuck.
Stuff.
Yeah. And I think like, if we want to do like roads where we're doing like stone and gravel and stuff, like that's cool too. And maybe that can be like a stage 5 project, is to sort of update all of the paths to be roads. I would be into that, where we can come up with like a design.
Yeah.
and it's much more like constructed looking. But I like the sort of like, I don't know. I like the look of the paths that
That's
are
not
like
right.
they look maybe a little bit overgrown, and like
Okay.
you know, some areas are like gravel because like yeah, I don't know, just
Yeah.
that's
Okay. Well, basically, like, I'm just letting you know that, like, I have made a significant portion of the paths no longer look the way that you wanted them to look. So, sorry about that. I didn't think about that.
It's our
I just,
constant battle that we fight.
I just thought it was like,
we just constantly go back like undoing the other person.
yeah. I just thought it was like your mouse buttons didn't work or something. Like, I thought it was genuinely a mistake. I'm sorry.
Adam was just talking about how their mouse is dead. So
Yeah.
no, that does
Yeah,
make
no,
sense.
that's
Oh, fuck. Okay.
it tracks.
Okay. And get rid of that. And okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to like die in the middle of playing a game,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or like where I can't even navigate to exit the game,
Oh,
and I'm just like, well, guess this is just a hard shutdown.
Yep.
Adam, we gotta get at least a USB mouse or some sort of wired mouse, Adam, please.
Yeah, I do have some backups, so
Yeah. That's the thing that because like I used to have a wired mouse, but I like having this wireless mouse. But I have a backup mouse that is battery that is also wireless, but it's like AA powered. So I can just pop the AA in and swap over to that when I need to. I mean, this is rechargeable. Like I can plug it in, but the way that my setup is right now, the USB port that it's plugged into to get the power is also a data USB port, but it's not plugged in to the computer because the extension cable for the USB doesn't go that long. So when I plug it into the USB, it gets power, but because it's not getting any data, like it shuts off the wireless transceiver, so I can't use it while it's charging, which is really fucking annoying. So I have to have a backup.
I hate designs like that.
Yeah. And there's not even like an option to make it not do that.
Just make your product less useful, why don't you?
Yeah, literally.
I hate using products.
Me too.
That's why I buy them and just leave them in the boxes.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, look, I'm going to try to use it, and it's not going to be exactly what I want it to be, and then I'm going to be disappointed, so I might as well just not use it.
Yeah. Okay. We've almost got this, but we need to figure out some way to make this not suck. And this is the
Alright.
path down here, so.
Is it time to
Ow.
go kill the cows? I think it's time to kill the cows. Zach, you've been like sitting in the same spot for a while.
Focusing on
What?
You've been sitting in the same spot for a while.
Yeah, I'm playing Destiny 2 actually. Is what's
Oh,
happening. So yeah, I'm just my body's in the game. I've played Minecraft today. We're working on the other city and getting it founded up to level 2.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not, I'm here. I'm just not here.
yeah. What?
Plus, I need to finish this one bounty because it goes away tomorrow.
So many fucking cows.
Ooh, baby.
And in a second, they will literally be fucking cows.
Hmm. Okay, let's do that. Do that.
So, Zach, I have to say thank you for the table saw.
Oh, well, you haven't got it yet, so
I
don't
know,
count your
but
chickens before they're in your horse's mouth.
I went on the Rockler website and was looking at table saw accessories.
Don't count your chickens
You're
before they're
already in
table
it.
saws.
You're ready. You're ready for the table saw.
I have a table saw. Like I have this really big old Delta like cabinetry table saw. It's
Oh,
like a
that's
really
nice.
nice, like but it was made in the 70s,
Yeah.
and it hasn't been plugged in or run since the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a bit of work that needs to happen to it before it's even ready to be like tested to see if it's still good.
Yeah.
Like I think the motor, it was kept inside a garage under a cover, and I think that the motor is still good. But like all of the like there, it's just like there's surface rust on everything. So I need to like clean the rust off and make sure things aren't like too pitted and stuff. But yeah, so I'm like, well, if I get this table saw from you, then like maybe I'll just sell that one for parts to somebody, and like that'll be dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am crowded in here. But yeah, if I got a table saw and like a chop saw, like that would allow me to do so many things that I've been like wanting to make.
I started at least twice.
In the past 5.
I have not started in the past. I have not started in the past hour. Is it that bad?
What did you
I'm
forget to start?
Sorry. Bacon onion jam that was on the stove.
Ah, okay.
Bacon onion jam?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing.
Well, it would have been if he'd started.
Mm. Now it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no longer amazing.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, God damn it! I like this whole only one person needs to sleep at a time thing.
Yeah, me too.
It's V nice.
Yeah.
V nice.
I wonder if it will scale up once we get more people on, but
I
I
think
have it set to scale where it's like 40% of everybody that's on the server,
oh, okay.
or just like 3 people, like whichever is more, like whichever is more. I think is the
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
okay. Well, right now it's only 33% of us need to sleep because 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go check on the. I keep getting teleported to random places. Is that what's happening?
Mwahahaha.
This mage. I got like 2 minutes left in this match. Oh god. And I will see. I guess I will see y'all next week.
Okay.
Sweet.
We have 3 challenge cities now. I'm trying to recruit a couple people for the 3rd challenge city.
Nice.
So that one we might not stream as much, but hopefully get some of what we want built up, and then we can show it off in the stream.
Nice. Yeah, I still want to eventually work on like a server to a railway at some point. That might be like a creative project one day.
Might be what?
A creative project, like put myself in creative mode and just build a railway that like just basically goes between all of the challenge cities so people can just like see them.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I wish there were better like public transit options in Minecraft,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times it feels like having a what's like nether boat stuff is kind of like the only one that's efficient enough because of the speed.
Mm. I'm not familiar with that, but
Yeah, there is you basically set up like ice pathways in the Nether. And because the Nether compresses the overworld,
mhm.
because it compresses the overworld, when you travel through the Nether, you're basically traveling really fast through the overworld. So if you
Right.
do that, and then you do
It's
like
like 1.3 blocks or something like that.
yeah, like boats on ice are like the fastest physical way to move, and then if you combine it with, you know, with the speed of the Nether, then that's like the most efficient way to get around places.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like modes of like long distance transportation that just like involve no input
Mm-hmm.
because I can just like start it and then like take my hands off the keyboard, you know, like look around if I want to,
Yeah,
but
just hang out, just vibe.
yeah. So that's why the rail thing appeals to me more than like boats or whatever. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
but
Dealt with
now
that.
if we were able to set up like waterways with currents, woo boy, need some waterways with currents where you can just like float in a boat. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right.
I'm getting out of here. I'll see you later.
All
Okay.
right. See
See
ya.
you later.
Bye.
All right. Now that Zach is gone, we can do our actual plans.
What are those?
You know, the real actual plans that we talked about.
I do not.
Luring creepers to his
Ah, yes,
other
of
challenge
course.
cities.
Of course, of course. Sabotaging his work. Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes I think about feeling remorseful for all of the cow slaughter that I'm committing, but
Mm.
then I realize that they're cows and they don't count.
Yep.
I got a lot of leather and it's not even going to be close to enough
Mm.
to make all of this fucking armor. Why did we do the thing where we built more houses? That was a bad idea.
That was a bad idea. Okay, I'll put that there.
I am not liking it right now. What are you working on right now?
I am still in the tree farm doing like pathway construction and stuff.
Sweet. Ah, yes. I only get 10 leather pants out of all of that.
Okay. It's probably fine. All right. Yeah, so Zach will have to come back at some point and like re-naturalize the other paths, but I've tried to leave this one sort of natural looking. So
Yeah, when I made the tree farm, I just sort of like held down the right click on the shovel and just like through the whole thing and like didn't go back and clean any of it up. And was just like, cool, now it looks like a lightly worn path. So all right. Do these in order. 1, 2. God, this was not supposed to take 6 streams just to do the fucking leather armor.
and then spruce. Where's spruce? This is oak.
It's 4.
This is
here's
acacia.
5.
Here's spruce. Here we go. Okay.
This is 8. Seven.
Okay. Cobblestone slab.
9.
Oh yeah.
Alright, where's number 10?
Find the slabs. There we go.
Here.
Oak slab.
12. $17. 14,
Planks.
13, 15, 16. Where the fuck is house number 10?
Oak fence. Actually,
Okay.
oh yeah. Plants. Put the sticks back. So the cafeteria isn't like the structure is done, but like there's nothing inside it really. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna put in it.
Either tables or maybe like counters.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna find some kind of tables and chairs, but there also need to be like I would like to have that sort of be our main like ready food storage. So like we'd also have to like move stuff up there for that. And, shit. Okay. Well, I need to change this anyway. 4-1 lobby, first floor, and cafeteria. Floor 2. Offices.
Zach also needs to finish these apartment complexes out here.
Yeah.
we should hound him about that next stream. Ooh, you know what we should build for stage 5? We should build like a little apiary for some bees.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it can be like right here next to the tree farm. That'll be good.
Where'd that
I'm gonna
go?
be done for the night.
Okay. Hang on. I just tried to place a sign on a stairs, and it didn't. It brought up the thing to let me. Oh no, wait. It placed it beneath it. Okay, that explains why. I was like, where the fuck did that go? Actually, that. Would that? Well, I could put it on the fence. Actually, put this over here to say cafeteria.
Wait.
Put this over here.
I really like this floor. It looks really good.
Thank you.
And it's the ceiling for the hot springs?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're going to get off for the night, then we should probably go ahead and... I mean, we could wrap up in here, or we could go back down to the meeting room.
We can wrap up in here.
Okay.
Nice relaxing
Yeah.
hot springs after a hard several days of work.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and it was a lot more political than we've been recently, but you know, that's not bad, because this is a politics stream as much as it is a Minecraft stream, as much as it is, you know, a humor stream. So yeah, I had fun. I hope you had fun, Adam, and I hope that everybody watching enjoyed it. So
I had fun, and all of my politics are a joke. So
well, I'm glad you had fun. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we will see you next week for week 13 of the Obsidian project, when hopefully we will actually advance to the next stage of the city challenge. And
yep, we're close. We're really close.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks very much, folks. See y'all later.
Bye.